perfect day for baseball out at Wrigley Field and a perfect day for a day game. Brewers and Cubs coming up in high definition right here on Comcast Sportsnet at 1:20. Hello and welcome to Lexus Cubs Pregame Live. I'm Luke Stuckmeyer. To my left, former Cub and 1996 Rookie of the Year, Todd Hollandsworth. Todd is stepping in for Dan Plesac today. We would like to send along our condolences and prayers to the entire Plesac family on the passing of Dan's father this week. Todd, thanks for coming in first of all. Last night, Cubs had this chance to keep things going, but the 5-game winning streak comes to an end. Magic number at 4. The big question right now, though, is last 10 or 11, 12 games, how do the Cubs handle this? Because it looks like the division is theirs. Well, it is. I think that it is. We're all very confident that the Cubs are going to be a good team, that they're playing good baseball right now, and that they're going to wrap this thing up. I think the difficult part is figuring out what Lou is going to do to get this team ready, how he's going to rest his regulars, how he's going to get his rotation in line, and get the ball rolling in the right direction towards the end of next week. And we will see what happens with the lineup today in just a few minutes. For the latest on today's series finale with the Brewers, let's go live out to Wrigley. Bring in Gail Fisher. Hi, Gail.
Hi there, Luke. Yeah, they can't clinch that division today as we all had hoped, I suppose, but they can still get the series win against Milwaukee, and they're going to do it with Rich Harden on the mound. A lot of these Cubs starters have had a lot of extra rest. It seemed to work for Carlos Zambrano, who had 11 days off. He went out and threw a no-hitter. Jason Marquis had about 10 days off. Maybe he didn't fare too well. It was probably too much time for him as he had to take the loss against the Brewers last night. But Rich Harden is a guy who always needs that rest. It seems to work for him. The last time he pitched was 7 days ago, and I talked to Cubs catcher Giovanni Soto, who expects Harden to be as sharp as ever.
I'm expecting, that he can dominate both sides of the plate with a fastball, change it, keep it down in the zone, and I think we'll be all right. He's been pitching fairly well for us, and he's been really, really dominating every time he goes out. So I just want him to, focus and doing whatever he was doing, don't change anything, and we'll be all right.
Now, Harden did beat the Brewers back on July 31st in his only career start against Milwaukee, so we'll see how he fares today going against Dave Bush. I was here last night, and I could sense a little extra disappointment maybe in the loss, just in the fact that they could have wrapped it up today with the sweep of the Brewers, but couldn't get it done. And I know this crowd has been anticipating a divisional clinching, and they want it done here at home at Wrigley Field. And when I was talking to the guys, Alfonso Soriano told me, they just can't tighten up now with the finish line in their sight.
I think we got a very good chance. We got a full game left. We play very good at home, so I hope that, we win 2 games here and we celebrate here at home before we go to New York.
When you have it so close in your sights and you can see that finish line, does it make it harder, or are you guys just like, let's get this over with? I could tell last night it was more disappointment because you guys lost that game, and now it's clinching the magic number, still 4.
Yeah, it's very difficult, but, I think everybody came here like one day at a time and try to win, so we try to not put that in the head and just play the game like we played before. So last night is like, disappointing night, but today is another day, so I hope today we play better and got the win today.
Of course, they want to do it here at home. If you can't do it against the Brewers, one of your division rivals and the team you are beating to make it in, they could do it against the Cardinals this weekend, and that would be sweet as well. I don't think anyone wants this to go into New York on Monday, so hopefully they can at least get the victory here today. That's going to do it from Wrigley Field. I'm Gail Fisher. Let's send it back to you.
Gail, we can tell the wind's blowing. Which way is it coming today? In, out?
It's coming in right to left, so
all right.
We'll see what that means.
We'll keep it in mind. Thanks, Gail. We'll see you later on. Todd, let's go back to last night. The Cubs would have had that chance to go up and clinch if they won last night. Jason Marquis, of course, struggled in the first inning and then settled down. He didn't have his control early on in the game, it seemed like, last night. Well, he did. He struggled a little bit. He had some problems, getting ahead of hitters and putting himself in a good position to get ahead, with his pitches. His off-speed pitches were up in the zone. They got to him early. I think the key to this game really was that the offense didn't get going. He didn't really kind of get any backing there. He didn't pitch poorly. He didn't pitch great. He kind of just pitched okay. And what unfortunately happened was there was no offense. And a lot of times when you lose, Ben Sheets kind of coming out of that game last night, it actually gets a little bit more difficult because you're facing their entire bullpen. And you know that you're going to be. I'm looking at Prince Fielder with that bases clearing double in that first inning. he is tearing the cover off the ball. Would you pitch to him today in every circumstance, or are there times where you might walk Prince Fielder
No,
today?
I think you might walk him. I mean, he's the hottest hitter in their lineup. He's swinging the bat really well right now. He's pulling a lot of balls, which is his strength, which means he's going up to the plate right now, putting himself in a good hitter's count and looking for something to drive and pull. I mean, he walloped a ball off Dempster a couple nights ago. I mean, on a changeup. So he's not just sitting on one pitch. He's definitely comfortable up there right now, but their entire lineup is not comfortable. So, I mean, he is a guy to avoid, I think, if you can avoid him today.
What's that feeling like as a hitter, knowing that you're going up there and, boy, you've had 2 doubles, a couple home runs, and you know you're really raking when you're going up there?
It's a great feeling. It really is, especially this time of year when it matters the most. And the Milwaukee fans I'm sure enjoy watching it, because their big problem has been the fact that they have not had a lot of offense. Their pitching has been okay. Losing Ben Sheets is big, but they just haven't been scoring runs either. And they've got one of their big guys swinging the bat pretty well right now.
Ben Sheets with a sore forearm last night. Let's take a look at our Feldco pitching matchup. Rich Harden takes the ball against right-hander Dave Bush of the Brewers this afternoon. Bush 9-10, but boy, the Cubs have blasted him this year. Meanwhile, Harden has allowed just 11 runs in his first 10 starts with the Cubs. 2 of those runs came in his last outing when he picked up the win. That was his only start this month. But I noticed he seemed to be throwing a little bit less than he was before he got hurt. I mean, a few miles per hour less.
Well, I think everybody probably took note of that, but he's been working on as he said, his location. And as a pitcher, we know that location is what it's all about. It's not how hard you throw, it's where you're putting the baseball. And if admittedly that's what he's trying to do, that's what he needs to do. If he goes out there today and locates well with 88, he's going to be effective. We know that he's got more than that in the tank. I'm sure, he's kind of probably in uncharted waters himself right now with, the way things have, the way this season and the playoffs are setting themselves up for him personally. I think it'll be a good challenge for him, but I know that they are watching him closely. They're keeping their eyes on him to make sure that he makes it through every one of these starts healthy and feeling good about his next start.
On the other side, how do you go after Dave Bush? Here's a guy who's winless in his last 3 starts, and the Cubs have clobbered him, 12 runs against him in 2 games this season. Players know that when they're going up facing him, don't you? You kept that in mind, even if it was back in April, you remember 12 runs.
Well, I'm sure the regulars were excited to get to the field today. I mean, I know that they've put up some good numbers against this guy. They've had some success against him, and I hope they're hoping that it's going to continue again today. But again, they cannot get away from their game plan. I mean, they need to go up there and they need to be patient. The Brewers are actually expecting an awful lot out of him. He's a guy who's taking, I believe, Parra's spot in the rotation, and they're moving him in despite the fact that he has been walloped by the Cubs. So they know that he's been throwing the ball fairly decent, enough to trust him in a big game today.
We thought this was going to be a huge series. It's still a pretty big game today. We'll have to see how it all plays out. We have to take our first break. Don't go anywhere. There's more Cubs pregame live coming up as the Cubs try to slow down Prince Fielder and take 2 out of 3 from the Brew Crew.
Cubs Pregame Live is brought to you in part by Menards. At Menards, you'll find big lumber yards, big selection, and big savings.
The right supplies and right price for every project. Menards. Owens Corning Duration Premium Shingles features Sure-Nail technology, a 130-mile-per-hour wind warranty, and a lifetime warranty. Now just $19.99 a bundle. Novik vinyl siding panels are easy to install, and they're available in a wide selection of styles and colors. Choose from the timeless look of brick, stone, or shake. Your choice, $11.99 per piece.
Save big money at Menards.
Nissan set out to create the perfect on-road vehicle, and in the process, created a category. Introducing 2 crossover leaders from Nissan. The redesigned Murano, awarded as an IIHS top safety pick, and the versatile Rogue, named 2008's best new small crossover. Lease the 27 MPG Nissan Rogue, just $229 a month. Don't follow the leader, own one. At your Nissan dealer now.
You know that song, Time in a Bottle? Well, I got time in a bottle, just by changing my allergy medicine from Claritin to Zyrtec. Zyrtec's a lot faster. It starts working 2 hours faster than Claritin, and it keeps working for 24 hours on all my allergy symptoms, indoors and out. You know, Zyrtec should put that on the label. Ingredients. 2 hours you didn't have before.
Zyrtec, the fastest 24-hour allergy relief, now without a prescription. For many men, an interview suit is a first step toward a second chance. Donate your gently used professional clothing during the Men's Warehouse National Suit Drive and receive a 10% discount toward your next purchase. I guarantee it.
Do something about this heat.
Big ass pulling.
Yeah. We're at 50 now.
Be right there.
Don't just trust anybody to cool you down.
Those fellas sure were fast.
Call Four Seasons Heating and Air Conditioning at 866-4 Seasons. For all the right reasons, Four Seasons.
Oh, look at the Menards grounds crew raking the infield, getting Wrigley Field ready for the Cubs and Brewers. It's coming up in high definition right here on Comcast Sportsnet at 1:20. Lexus Cubs pregame live, taking you right up to game time. Luke Stuckmeyer and Todd Hollinsworth with you today. Let's take a look at the lineup that Lou Piniella is going to send against right-hander Dave Bush today. And there is a bit of a surprise in the lineup today. You see Soriano at the top, Terrio at short, and then you go down, you got Jim Edmonds in center, but the one name that really jumps out, Kosuke Fukudome, Todd. Here's a guy who hasn't made a start in 8 days, and Lou's going to give him a chance this afternoon.
Absolutely. Well, he hasn't been productive either, and I think that's a big question mark going in to the end of the season. I think that's what everybody's hoping to find out is can he regain the magic that he had for so long in these next 10, 11 games, because I know Lou's going to be looking for that. If not, he is going to be that defensive replacement late in the ball game because they're just not getting the offensive production out of him that they were expecting or need right now at this time of year.
Money's not a factor at this point. It doesn't matter how much guys are making. It's who's playing the best at the right time.
Those conversations come up in April. Those are not conversations right now in September that matter. They don't matter at all. It's not a situation where who's making what and should he be starting because he's making this much money at all. It's not a discussion. This time of year, more than any other time of year, is about winning ball games, and whatever it takes to do it, to get it done is going to happen.
Aramis Ramirez, here's a guy that, boy, the Cubs would like to see really hot come playoff time because his bat can carry this team, and nobody's been more clutch on this team than Aramis Ramirez.
Absolutely. Offensive MVP. He's come out, especially here in September. He had a little bit of a lull. I think there was maybe some family issues in August, he said. But he looks so confident at the plate right now. He looks under control. He's staying on the ball. He's taking his walks, and he's driving the ball out of the yard. 108 RBI coming into today. He has been definitely the offensive MVP this year.
Can you put your finger on what makes a guy clutch? I mean, it's coming up with big hits, but is it just luck that guys are coming up with the big hits, or do some guys just thrive in that situation with runners on base?
Some guys just thrive in that. They thrive in that situation. They look for it. They live for it. That's what it's all about. Some guys can hit 250 all year, but they seem to get those hits at the end of the game that matter the most. And he has done that. Not only has he had a phenomenal year offensively, he's gone out there and performed in the clutch. And I think he's driven in something like 50 runs in the seventh inning on, which just tells you this guy, I mean, he takes it to another level. Maybe the adrenaline kicks in a little bit more, but he loves that feeling of being the hero. He expects to be the hero, and he wants to be the hero. So when he comes up in this situation, he's not nervous. He just goes up there and does what he does.
Okay, so the Cubs lose last night, but the magic number could have been 2. It's still at 4. The division lead is at 8. It's not over, but let's just say the old fat lady is warming up for the opera right now. The players definitely know it's close, and here's what Giovanni Soto had to say today about it.
We go out there and then try to win every single game, and it doesn't always go our way, but we just got to keep playing, and whenever it happens, it happens. Hopefully sooner than later.
You guys think you guys are kind of thinking about the clinching already and just want to get it over with?
Not really. I mean, we're just thinking about, winning games, especially, with Milwaukee. You got a great ball club, and we're just trying to win games and try to clinch it and, try to play the best baseball and keep rolling so we can transfer it to October, but we can't really start thinking about October until we get it done, so we need to play some baseball.
Did you feel any extra anticipation in the air, just the crowd, and everyone's waiting?
A little bit. I mean, I feel it a little bit. They're anxious. They're in the game. They know what's going on, and it's good to have a fan like fans like that. And if it was for us, we would have been clinching like 3 weeks ago. But it's a game, so we got to compete out there and play hard and see what happens.
So the players definitely know what's going through a player's mind come down the end of the stretch. I mean, it'd be real easy to shut it down once the bubbly flows the first time.
Well, they want to win. They want to go out there and they want to win this ball game. They want to win tomorrow's ball game. They want to clinch. They want to clinch at home. The Cubs fans deserve this. The city of Chicago deserves this. The players know that, and they want to go out there and give that to the fans, give that to the ownership. Everybody who's rallied around this team all year long has supported them through the good and the bad, which, you know, it's been mostly good. It's just a matter of when. And at home is so much more fun than on the road. I think they really want to get this done. I think you're going to see an awful lot of intensity till they get it done and some scoreboard watching.
So let's assume that the Cubs are going to clinch this sometime fairly soon here. What goes through a player's mind? You've been there before. After you clinch, how do you approach those last couple games?
Well, you have to get yourself ready. Only you know yourself as a player. I think it's so much more difficult than it is for the pitchers. The pitchers know their spots. They know their rotation. They know if, you know, Ryan Dempster sometime next week is going to make a start and he's only going to go 5 innings that day. Right now, I think being a manager really can be tough because you know you're going to lock this thing down and get yourself into the playoffs. But the question is, how in the world am I going to get my offense clicking and ready to go at the same time getting these guys a break, get them some time off? Let them celebrate, enjoy each other, enjoy the time off. The players aren't afforded that like the pitchers are. And, you know, again, get my lineup rolling at the end of the week.
Lou's got to know which guy needs the rest, which guy needs the at-bats. Tricky little situation.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at the Brewers lineup today. They will go against Rich Harden on the mound for the Cubs, Mike Cameron leading off. Then Ray Durham, the former Southsider, and we talked about Prince Fielder. He's hitting 272, but right now he might as well be hitting 600 against the Cubs.
He has been hammering the ball. They needed somebody to get hot, and he has gotten hot.
What about J.J. Hardy, the shortstop? There's another guy that can really, they've got a lot of guys that can hurt you in the lineup, but J.J. Hardy's another one.
Absolutely. This lineup, I mean, it's full of home run hitters, but the question is, with the home run hitters, you kind of maybe see this a little bit on the south side. There's going to be those slumps where you're not able to create runs, and I think that's what this team has been going through. The inability to create some offense. Now, they did that last night. Let's hope they obviously don't do it again today. But that's what this team was built around. Power, they've got it. If you can contain it, you got a good shot at beating them.
You know, I was looking at the lineup here, and we saw Cameron at the top. You say, oh, he strikes out, and he hits 240 right now. Soriano, maybe not your prototypical leadoff guy. But it seems like teams are winning without the prototypical leadoff guy nowadays.
Well, the threat has changed. I mean, the idea before was, building around a speed guy at the top of the lineup, a 380 on-base percentage, a guy that's on there setting the table all the time. Now, there's just so many different ways to kind of create offense. You've got guys who are hitting 30 home runs. Grady Sizemore, Cleveland Indians, has got, 80 RBIs, 85 RBIs, 30 home runs. Again, he's got a lower batting average, much like Mike Cameron and what you're seeing with Soriano. Of course, he's hitting a little bit higher, but you're seeing a big bopper in that spot. And why do you do that? I mean, they're good fastball hitters, and that's what's going on here. It creates a threat. It creates that instant offense right out of the gate.
Want to get your take on Ned Yost being fired, second-place team, one of the best records in the National League. All of a sudden, he's out. Dale Swaim takes over. How surprised were you at that move?
Well, I was very surprised. I mean, this is a move that doesn't happen very often in baseball. I've been told that it happens in some other sports to spark the team. It is very interesting because there is only 12 games left in the season, but I guess you kind of understand it because in baseball, I mean, there's just at this point of the year, you can't change your roster. You can't shuffle guys in and out. What you have at this point is what you're trying to make the playoffs with. They can't make a trade. They can't go out and get somebody new. They're not going to call up somebody that they haven't already called up that they think might help this team out. So really the only other statement that they can make to get this team's attention is to fire the manager.
And all of a sudden the Brewers are the odd team out if the season were to end today. They are trying to do anything to get back in this playoff picture. We have to take another timeout here on the show. When we come back, we will break down the Cubs bullpen and get ready for Todd's keys to the game. It's hot dog time out at Wrigley Field.
Guests on Cubs Pregame Live receive gift certificates to Harry Carey's legendary Italian Steakhouse, located in Chicago, Rosemont, and Lombard. Ride in first class to your next game, outing, or airport transfer with Windy City Limousine. Choose from an assortment of classy high-end vehicles to make your night out truly worthwhile. Anything less than prompt, professional, and courteous service just won't cut it. The vehicles are new and clean. Talk about green. You can move 40 people at once in a minibus. Just call 866-94-WINDY. You can even book your own trip online, WindyCityLimos.com. From sedans to SUVs, limousines to vans, and buses from 14 to 56 people. It's all at Windy City Limo. It's about time.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by American Chartered Bank. American Chartered, the bank for your business. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
MPG. It's a very popular topic lately. We're proud to say the IS-250 leads its class in MPG. But MPG isn't everything. You have to consider resale, reliability, all 7 costs to see why the IS-250 has the lowest cost of ownership in its class. See how they add up at your Lexus dealer. Lease the 2008 IS-250 all-wheel drive for $359 a month for 36 months with $35.59 due at signing.
Osaka Japanese Steakhouse, where tradition comes alive. Our skilled hibachi chefs will dazzle you with their culinary expertise, entertain your family, and delight your taste buds. At Osaka Japanese Steakhouse, your meal is prepared before your very eyes. The sights, the sounds, the aromas. A feast for all your senses. For a special treat, select your favorite sushi from our vast menu. Our sushi is made to order with only the freshest ingredients. Osaka Japanese Steakhouse, where meals come to life. Now open at 4901 Utica Ridge Road.
The biggest teams in Football Liga Mexicana play on Univision, Telefutura, and Galavisión. And you can connect to it all live. Follow your favorite teams week after week. Watch the games with digital cable. Track the games online with high-speed internet. And talk about the games with friends with digital phone service. Get connected and save. Football Liga Mexicana on Univision Networks.
Chicago Tribune Live, weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Today's Cubs game on Comcast Sportsnet is available in high definition on Comcast Channel 200 in Chicagoland and Channel 922 in Central Illinois. Check out ComcastSportsnet.com for HD channel information.
And they're getting ready for baseball. Cubs fans fired up. A beautiful day for baseball at Wrigley. It's the Cubs and Brewers divisional showdown at 1:20 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Welcome back to Lexus Cubs Pregame Live. Luke Stuckmeyer and Todd Hollandsworth with you. Todd, we talked a little bit in the first couple segments of the show about resting players, getting ready for the playoffs, how Lou's going to manage things. The bullpen's another situation where he's got to be really careful about what he does.
Absolutely. This is a situation where you're going to want to get guys down there some rest, but at the same time, get them some work. That's where being a manager is so much more difficult this time of year. Everything making the assumption this team is going where it's supposed to go. The playoffs, you got to get Marmol some rest. You got to get Woody some rest. I know Woody's coming off a little bit of a hand injury, and he's had some rest, but the whole idea is to keep these guys fresh, keep their velocity up, keep their breaking pitches tight, and getting themselves ready for the playoffs. These two guys are the cogs down there. They've been there all year long. He's going to try and obviously use them in the right situations here in the last 10, 11 ball games. But those are the guys that you're going to see. You might not see them at that key point in the game, through the rest of these games, because he may just say, you know what, you got today off.
Woody and Marmol had the night off last night. He brought some other guys in. Kerry Wood has struggled a little bit, but he has gotten the job done ultimately in the end.
Absolutely, and he's gotten some big outs. The out the other night against Prince Fielder after giving up a few hits. Pivotal, absolutely pivotal, and absolutely dominating. I think this time of year, people in Chicago have got to understand this is what you've got. Things are not going to change from this point out. You're not going to see a change in the closer or a change in the setup. I think there might be some discussion, about where Bobby Howry's role might be in all of this, but that being said, your 8th inning guy and your 9th inning guy are who they are. They're not going to change. They're not going to be flip-flopping. That's just a matter of how much rest they're going to get before this thing gets going and get rolling in the playoffs.
Lou has a pretty good choice. You have Howry, the veteran, if he comes around and starts pitching well, or Samardzija, the kid who's come in, done a good job, and doesn't seem to be afraid of too much.
Absolutely. Well, neither one of these guys is afraid of much. I think they're both very, very big and good competitors. I think they're both guys who get after it, and they have good stuff. Bobby's stuff has looked an awful lot better here the last few times out. I think with a little bit more work, you may have a guy who's just, you might catch lightning in a bottle, so to speak here, a guy that might walk right into the playoffs and find his peak, which he really hasn't seemed to have all year. He's kind of been so inconsistent. But I think he's getting ready to roll into this thing, and he's a guy who's been there before. So, he's got that working for him. He's not fighting the nerves that a younger man might be fighting.
What about the role that Carlos Marmol has to fill here as you go into the postseason? It seems like Lou likes to bring him in the most critical situation in the game, whether it's the 7th, the 8th, or even the ninth sometimes, it seems like he's always asked to get the toughest guy out.
Absolutely. Well, I think he loves it. I think that's something he looks forward to. He looks forward to that challenge, and I think that's what gets him excited. He wants that. He wants the ball in those pressure-filled, situations. 110 strikeouts. I mean, that says an awful lot for what he's done this year. To this point of the season, and he's going to want it even more so on the center stage. I think he's dying to get into the playoffs.
Well, we hope so. We'll get back to break here real quick and get Todd's keys to the game after a commercial timeout. We're coming right back with the Brewers and Cubs. It's getting close to game time.
Something in the way you move, little darling. Yes, it's something in the way you talk that make me realize there's something in the way you move.
The 2008 Volvo XC90 Special Edition SUV. Get together with yours at the Volvo Model Year-End event. Now's the best time to get an 08 Volvo. Event ends September 30th.
Chicagoans love their pizza. That's why you come to Giordano's, some for 30 years now. We use only the finest ingredients to make Giordano's famous stuffed pizza, our equally famous thin crust pizza, plus salads, pastas, sandwiches, and more. Come on into Giordano's and celebrate 30 great years with us. Giordano's famous stuffed pizza. We made it good, you made it famous.
Are you looking to improve the efficiency and productivity of your small business? International Profit Associates is the nation's leader in management consulting for small and medium-sized companies. We can provide a comprehensive evaluation of your business and offer a wide variety of professional services to fit your needs. Our business analysts will assess your company's strengths and weaknesses, from operations to tech services. IPA is full service and can help take your business to the next level. Call IPA today to take the first step toward growing your business.
This has been a magical season for the Cubs. To commemorate this historic season, Big Time Bats has just released the Ace of Cubs 2008 officially licensed photo bat. This bat is numbered and production is limited to 2008 bats. Previous Cubs photo bats have sold out, so don't be disappointed. This bat has a 360-degree image of the 4 Cubs pitching stars around the Cubs logo and the words Ace of Cubs. The players' facsimile signatures are also included. You can purchase this historic bat for $129.95 plus shipping by calling Big Time Bats at 1-866-280-BATS.
Nissan set out to create the perfect on-road vehicle, and in the process, created a category. Introducing 2 crossover leaders from Nissan. The redesigned Murano, awarded as an IIHS top safety pick, and the versatile Rogue, named 2008's best new small crossover. Lease the 27 MPG Nissan Rogue, just $229 a month. Don't follow the leader, own one. At your Nissan dealer now.
Browns crew out there getting that field ready at Wrigley. It's almost game time, about 20 minutes away right here on Comcast Sportsnet in high def. Welcome back to Lexus Cubs pregame live. It is time for Holly's Lexus Keys to the Game. What do you think?
Well, I think what's most important here, the first thing that comes to mind for me is keep winning series. What that does is it keeps you in the flow. It helps you get ready. I think it's a broad statement, but the idea behind it is, and we heard this a month ago, keep winning series. Well, the idea is they've got a chance to win a series here today against the Milwaukee Brewers. They're going to put Milwaukee in a much, obviously, worse position. They're going to get a little bit closer to clinching this thing and getting it wrapped up. At the same time, they've still got that good feeling of winning, knowing that, hey, we might get a few days off here, some of our players and some of our regulars, but they're going to get going in the right direction. Get Mr. Harden through this game healthy and feeling good about himself. I know there was a little bit of question about his velocity being down. He said he was working on his location. Well, hopefully he's got that location today, but the idea is to get him through this feeling good. He's a big part of this team going into the playoffs, and at the same time, get the offense rolling. Lou's going to be, using some different guys. You're going to see some young guys out there, I think, in the next week once they get this thing wrapped up. That being said, you want to get the offense rolling. You want to get this team feeling good about itself offensively so that they are kind of steamrolling into the playoffs and everybody's clicking and going where they need to go.
Real quick, I want to get your take on team chemistry and where that fits into this whole thing. Does this Cubs team have it, and how important is it?
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. This team chemistry is defined by what you see all year long, and what you've seen all year long is a team that's gone through some hard times. They filled in with, a Jim Edmonds and he's come in and he's been a big part of this team. You've seen how this team has adapted to the situations that have been presented to them. Yes, it seems like, they've been leading all the way through this thing. But if you remember back right around the All-Star break, they were about neck and neck with Milwaukee, and it was they've just kind of answered all the adversity. That's right, they have.
All right, that's going to do it from the studio. We will see you back here after the final out for interviews and analysis on Cubs Postgame Live. Right now, though, it's time for baseball. We send it out to the guys who will bring us the action today, Len Casper and Bob Brenly. Guys?
Luke and Todd, thanks so much. Wind coming in off the lake, but another nice day for baseball. And Bob, last night they got down early and just could never really catch up. You have to give a lot of credit to the Brewers bullpen.
Oh, they did an outstanding job. I thought it was a stroke of genius on the part of Dale Swaim. Rather than go to a long guy to try to eat up 3 or 4 innings, he used 7 pitchers to throw the last 7 innings of that ball game.
Cubs are still in fine shape. The magic number remaining at 4. Let's check out the central standings. The Brewers are 8 games out, but they're definitely more concerned about the wild card race. And here are those wild card standings. The Mets won last night, so they're a half game behind the Phillies, who lead the East. The Brewers a half game behind the Mets. So after tomorrow, or after today, the Brewers are going to start rooting for the Cubs because they play the Mets in 4 games next week. Got to find a way to stop Prince Fielder today.
Don't throw him anything close to the plate. I mean, Prince Fielder has 6 hits in this series, 2 home runs, 3 doubles, and a single. He crushed a mistake from Ryan Dempster in the first game of this series, a hanging split finger. He hit a real good pitch from Carlos Marmol down low and away to the opposite field for a home run. When you get a quality hitter like Prince Fielder swinging the bat the way he is right now, you're better off just not even pitching to him if you can possibly pitch around him or walk him intentionally.
That right there was the big play last night. A bases-loaded 3-run double, and the Brewers never looked back. It'll be up to Rich Harden to get the job done, and he did his last time out.
Well, we know Rich Harden can dominate anybody in any lineup when he has his good stuff. His velocity was down a little bit his last time out, but he was concentrating more on location and changing speeds, and was very effective in his start against the Cardinals doing that.
So Rich Harden will go for the Cubs today. It'll be right-hander Dave Bush, who is going to pitch for Milwaukee. Originally left-hander Manny Parra, but he is now in the bullpen. Now Gail Fisher chatted earlier today with Larry Rothschild about the Cubs, their starters, and much more.
Well, Larry, this last time through the rotation, the staff has been outstanding. You had a no-hitter. You just informed me that was your 3rd one. You guys must be doing something right. Obviously, they had a little bit more rest. Do you feel like how you've been managing this staff a little bit with the rest has helped them?
Well, I hope so. We've tried to keep them in a position where they're strong when they pitch and can stay healthy. That doesn't always work, but you do everything you can to put them in that position. And, you get lucky once in a while, and hopefully we can keep it up and have a few more good turns around in rotation, and things will work out well.
Carlos Zambrano just, had a couple of issues, but other than that, the starting rotation has stayed relatively healthy. It's very unusual. I guess you know that very well through the course of a baseball season. Do you feel fortunate, or is it just a matter of managing these guys and giving them the rest?
Well, I think in most cases you're fortunate. Last year we went through the whole year without anything. This year we've had a few more issues. With Carlos a few times. Rich Harden has to be watched pretty closely. So, it's a little bit of everything. You try to make sure you do everything you can to keep them healthy, but that doesn't always work, And in today's game, you look around the disabled lists around the league, and there's a lot of fairly prominent pitchers that have either been on it or are on it currently. So, you do the best you can, but it's a hit and miss thing, given the fact that you try to protect them as much as you can and watch what they do, but it's a little different world for them in today's game.
And Rich Harden, obviously, going today, you want to expect good things out of him. Just talk about where he's at and if this rest is extra helpful for him.
Well, we hope so. We gave him quite a long time before his last start, and this time he's back on schedule with 1 extra day. So hopefully he feels good going out today and pitches the way he can.
I suppose if there's any concerns with your staff at all, it could be in the bullpen, as many teams have at this time of year. What are you looking at right now? Are you trying? Last night you had an opportunity to get a few guys out there, Angel Guzman, see how they do. Are you looking at a variety of different guys right now?
Well, with Carlos and Kerry at the end of the game, we felt comfortable with that. But really, you need 1 or 2 more guys to step up. Neil Kotz has pitched pretty well for us, so that's a good situation. But we need 1 or 2 more guys to step up and establish the fact that if a starter gets us through the 6th, we're okay in the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Has Bob Howery been able to regain his confidence a little, and I guess your guys' confidence in him?
Well, he's been a little bit hit or miss, and unlike in the past when he came in games and really put games away, especially this time of year, the stuff hasn't quite been the same, and you know, we keep hoping that, you know, something happens and it comes back. But you know, when he goes out there, he's giving you everything he's got. He's one of the toughest competitors that we have here, and you know his heart's in the right place, so you trust that in a lot of cases.
You guys can see the finish line. Obviously, the magic number is 4. Just as the pitching coach, how easier would it be for you to get this thing done early so it can give you some more options for the playoffs?
Well, you'd like to get it done as quick as you can just to get it done, let alone being able to plan a little bit more. But you know, right now our concentration on the game today and trying to win that game today, and then, you know, we get closer. But you know, you have to win games, and it's going to come down to the same thing no matter what. Whatever the magic number is, doesn't matter. We need to go out and play well and win.
That's Larry Rothschild with Gail Fisher, the present and future of the Chicago Blackhawks. Jonathan Taves on the left, Patrick Kane on the right. We'll preview the pitching matchup as the Cubs host the Brewers next.
Ride in first class to your next game, outing, or airport transfer with Windy City Limousine. Choose from an assortment of classy high-end vehicles to make your night out truly worthwhile. Anything less than prompt, professional, and courteous service just won't cut it. The vehicles are new and clean. Talk about green. You can move 40 people at once in a minibus. Just call 866-94-WINDY. You can even book your own trip online, WindyCityLimos.com. From sedans to SUVs, limousines to vans, and buses from 14 to 56 people. It's all at Windy City Limo. It's about time.
Your one-stop shop, Menards. Foundation panels from Styro Industries can reduce your heating costs up to 22%. It's designed to insulate, protect, and enhance the appearance of exposed basement walls. It's easy to install and comes in 3 colors. A 1-inch thick 2x4-foot panel is just $9.99 after rebate. Finish your furniture with Minwax. Interior polyurethane dries fast to form a durable, long-lasting protective finish on all wood. Available in satin, semi-gloss, or gloss. $19.98 a gallon.
Save big money at Menards.
Built on a sports car platform with a more fuel-efficient 390 horsepower engine, the all-new Infiniti FX, defining the performance crossover, redefining luxury.
The best time is any time at Catfish Bend Casino. Jump on board the Burlington Express jackpot and win instant cash playing your favorite slot games. Win up to $3,000, $5,000, $7,500, or $10,000. Play any eligible slot, and you're playing for the Burlington Express jackpot. Everyone's on board, and anyone can win. For friends and fun, for good living, great dining, for bright nights and magic days.
The best time is any time at Catfish Bend Casino.
Things are crazy enough around here. I can't wait until 7 to save on long distance. That's why I have Mediacom phone. I can call anytime with unlimited nationwide calling, plus 14 calling features for one low price.
Don't wait. Talk when you want, as long as you want, with Mediacom phone for as low as $29.95 a month.
Good stuff. No waiting. From Mediacom.
Call 1-800-CABLE-TV.
You're watching the home of the Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox. Comcast Sportsnet.
Somewhat cool temperatures, but excellent weather throughout this homestand. Should be a nice weekend as well. The Cardinals will come in for the final 3 at home during the regular season, including today. Just 4 left for the Cubs at Wrigley Field. 52 wins out of their 91 have come at home. It's the most home wins for the Cubs since 1935. Now the pitching matchup, it'll be Dave Bush, a right-hander for Milwaukee, 7-3 over his last 15 starts, but just 1-7 in his career against the Cubs, 0-2 this season. We mentioned Harden. This will be his 100th career start. He has won his last 5 consecutive decisions. Magic number at 4. The Cubs can get it down to 2 if they can beat the second-place Brewers this afternoon. Bob will be back with me, and we'll have the preview of this matchup. We'll get you set for Cubs baseball from Wrigley Field.
Cubs Pregame Live is brought to you by your Chicago area Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today.
When you're looking for a luxury vehicle, is this all you see? How about now? What about now? Most people will consider 2 or 3 of these. But when you look at all 7 costs, you'll see why the Lexus ES has the lowest cost of ownership in its class. For a clearer picture, visit your Lexus dealer. Lease the 2008 ES 350 for $409 a month for 36 months, with $3609 due at signing.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire Company.
Low prices, more choices on the world's best brands, like Michelin and B.F. Goodrich.
You know that song, Time in a Bottle? Well, I got time in a bottle, just by changing my allergy medicine from Claritin to Zyrtec. Zyrtec's a lot faster. It starts working 2 hours faster than Claritin, and it keeps working for 24 hours on all my allergy symptoms, indoors and out. You know, Zyrtec should put that on the label. Ingredients: 2 hours you didn't have before.
Zyrtec, the fastest 24-hour allergy relief, now without a prescription.
Yeah, you know the spot.
Right away, sir. Welcome to Giordano's. Your table's ready.
Thank you.
How's everything?
Fantastic.
What's your secret?
It's the fresh ingredients, and it's been so for the last 30 years.
We made it good. You made it famous.
This month, take 30% off all groceries.
Take 30% off your utility bill.
Save 30% on all gasoline.
We wish.
We wish.
We wish.
This month, Feldco windows are 30% off. Get ready for winter now. Save 30% on energy-efficient Feldco windows. Beat the high cost of energy. Do one window or do the whole house. But hurry, this offer ends September 30th.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Well, fans on the north side are anxious to see their team clinch this division before the home schedule comes to a close on Sunday. Just 4 left in the regular campaign here at Wrigley Field. The magic number to win the division is at 4, and it's a rubber game today here on Comcast Sportsnet. The Cubs hosting the Milwaukee Brewers. Hi again, everyone. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. The light at the end of the tunnel is getting brighter, but you got to get through Milwaukee today. They won last night. Prince Fielder came up huge once again.
Boy, he has been a beast in the first 2 games of this series. Everything he's hit has been right on the button. 5 of his 6 hits have gone for extra bases. Try to minimize the damage, get the guys in front of him in the order, and if possible, take the bat completely out of his hands.
They're all big starts for Rich Harden. This will be his 100th career outing, and last time around he was very good.
He was very good, and we mentioned he didn't have his great velocity. He was pitching in the low 90s, but he was very good with his straight changeup. His command was outstanding.
So Harden for the Cubs. Right-hander Dave Bush will go for Milwaukee, and he's been pretty good lately, and we know how critical a game this is. They're all big now for Milwaukee.
They're all huge for Milwaukee. He's coming off a loss and 2 no decisions where the bullpen didn't help him out any, but he's pitched well enough to win in those 3 starts.
The Cubs are going to win this thing again. The magic number just at 4, but there is a sense of urgency. You want to tell yourself, let's get this done as fast as we can.
Well, I'm sure Lou and his staff would like to get it done as soon as possible so they could finally start talking about making postseason plans, get their pitching in order.
All right, the Cubs could clinch as soon as tomorrow, but first things first, Cubs hosting the Brewers. Down to the field, and Wayne Messmer with our national anthem.
In a singing and playing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Wayne Messmer with our national anthem, Cubs souvenirs, the hottest items in town, as they will very soon clinch their second consecutive division title. We'll have Cubs baseball from the friendly confines next.
In celebration of our 100th anniversary,
we're sharing our GM employee discount with everyone.
You pay what we pay.
Not a cent more.
The GM employee discount.
For everyone.
And now we've extended the discount through September 30th. Use it to get the 2008 Chevy Malibu with better city fuel economy than Accord and Camry. That's right. Get this 2008 Chevy Malibu LS for around $19,000.
Where the deer and the golfers come to play. Glens Creek Golf Course. Seldom in the rough, seldom in the bunker. Improve your swing from the tee to the green. Custom clubs and accessories. Quit thinking and get swinging. Where the deer and the golfers come to play. Glens Creek Golf Course.
If you need to tow it, Quad City Spring has it. Quad City Spring is the area's suspension, spring, truck accessory, and towing experts. From goosenecks and fifth wheels to every kind of hitch imaginable, including Blue Ox base plates and tow bars, strong as an ox. And Quad City Spring installs and services everything they sell. So tow it right. Get your ride to Quad City Spring. Quad City Spring, 34th Street at River Drive in Moline.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Chevy. Want to win World Series tickets? Text Cubs to 28546 for your chance to win, courtesy of Chevy. Midas, for brakes, oil changes, tires, and more, trust the Midas touch. Your Chicago area Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Menards. At Menards, you'll find big lumber yards, big selection, and big savings. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we want to give you the security to experience wellness everywhere. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Cadillac, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit. And by Southwest Airlines. With Southwest Airlines, you're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today.
Lots of blue skies above, wind coming in off the lake, and we're set for the Brewers and Cubs today. The game conditions, 72 beautiful degrees, humidity not a big concern, wind out of the east, and a perfect forecast. Cardinals come in for the weekend tomorrow, final home series of the regular season for the Cubs, and then they'll hit the road, 4 in New York and 3 in Milwaukee. A win today would help, as the Cubs would like to wrap this thing up before they start that final trip. And they can shave a couple of numbers off that magic number, which is currently at 4. Well, tough night for the Cubs last night, but pretty big play at the time. The Coors Light freeze cam Alfonso Soriano nailing Corey Hart at the plate. Nice block by Giovanni Soto.
Yeah, it was a nice block and a poor slide by Corey Hart to give him a chance to block home plate and get that out. Another strong throw from Alfonso Soriano. When are they going to learn?
And for Soriano, he has 9 outfield assists. And the vast majority, I would guess, would be at home plate. Looked like Joe West, who's umpiring third, just went down into the tunnel. As the other 3 umpires currently standing at the plate. Milwaukee will head to Cincinnati for the weekend after this one. They snapped a 5-game losing streak last night, and the Cubs' 5-game winning streak came to an end. And coming up soon, Chicago Blackhawks hockey on Comcast Sportsnet. Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves will conduct the stretch. They threw out the first pitches today.
I still think it would be a good idea to put the ball on the rubber and let him take a slap shot toward the catcher. That'd be a lot more fun for a hockey player, I would think. I think the future of the Blackhawks is in good hands. Both those guys look like bad boys.
I was reading Patrick Kane added a little muscle this summer. We'll talk to him about that later. Joe West is back. As we check in on the key umpires, Ed Rapuano will work the plate. Hickox, Buckner, and West will be on the bases. Ed Rapuano, by the way, visits Italy in the offseason and works baseball clinics there.
I've always liked Ed Rapuano a lot. He's a high-energy umpire, very sure of himself, good ball strike umpire, and he's not afraid to admit when he's made a mistake. It's not unusual for him to lean over in the catcher's ear and say, hey, I think I missed that one. Tell him between innings.
So the Cubs have taken the field, and now the Brewers Southwest starting lineup. 1 through 8, it's been the same in all 3 games. Cameron, Durham, and Braun at the top. Fielder with the huge set, he's cleaning up. Hardy, Hart, Counsell at third once again. Jason Kendall, as we theorized last night, back in there, along with his battery mate, Dave Bush.
Yeah, Kendall only catches on days when the Brewers play. Let's take a look at the Cubs defense, brought to you by Rico. Move your ID was forward with Rico. Dependability. Soriano, Edmonds, and Kosuke Fukudome getting a start in right field today. Ramirez, Terrio, DeRosa, Lee across the infield. Giovanni Soto behind the dish today for right-hander Rich Hart. Talked about his last start against the St. Louis Cardinals down in St. Louis. Went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits and 2 runs in that ball game. Didn't have his dominating fastball, but made a proper adjustment with his changeup and still pitched very effectively against a tough Cardinals lineup.
It's one of those days in the sun, short sleeves, in the shade, probably short sleeves, but always a good idea this time of the year, if you're going to be in the shade, to bring a light jacket just in case. Closed captioning now available for today's Cubs-Brewers game on Comcast Sportsnet, thanks to our good friends at Luna. Mike Cameron will lead things off. He got the Brewers going last night with a leadoff single, a stolen base, and scored on the double by Fielder in the very first inning.
And we touched on it briefly earlier. One way to limit the damage a big Prince fielder can do is if you retire the 3 guys ahead of him in the batting order, and that starts with Mike Cameron.
Outside, 2-0 the count. Harden with a win at Miller Park on the final day of July. 11-4 the final. He didn't walk anybody that day, struck out 9, gave up 1 run. 3 balls, no strikes. There's the first strike, a fastball at 90. 4, so Cameron a very patient opening plate appearance. And here's Ray Durham, and you look at the lineups today, Bob. You have Cameron leading off for Milwaukee, 25 homers. Ray Durham coming up with 6, batting second. For the Cubs, Soriano leading off with 29 home runs. Ryan Theriot batting second with 1. Don't see lineups that look quite like this that often. No question, Durham and Theriot both could hit leadoff and have.
One thing to keep an eye on in this ball game today. It looked like Dale Swaim wanted to be very aggressive and was very aggressive with his base runners last night.
Everybody calling time. That's the first time 3 umpires have called time. It's like a delayed reaction, a chain reaction. Dale Swaim got his first win as a major league manager in game 2. He's 1-1. Inside corner. Aaron tried to make it look like it almost hit him, but it was a strike.
You see Ray Durham on that list at 0.83 lifetime against Rich Harden.
I have a feeling there are a lot of guys batting in the 100s against Rich Harden. Bunted toward third. Ramirez is going to let it roll. Good choice.
Smart play. Going to be a tough chance to get Durham at first base on that bunt. Ramirez got a little bit of a late start coming in on it, but he saw the side English on the baseball, saw the route that it was taking, and decided to take a chance and let it roll. And that ball gets right to the edge of the grass, picks up a little steam into foul territory, and you have to touch it to make it a foul ball. Harden jumps ahead in the count 1-2 with that foul bunt.
Kick and the pitch. Good block. Cameron was certainly ready to go.
Now, base runners are a little more hesitant when that ball is blocked and goes to the right side, as this one did. That's a much easier throw for Giovanni Soto to pick that ball up out of the dirt on that side of home plate and throw to second base than it is if the ball bounces to the third base side in foul territory.
Bob, a real subtle thing. But the ball was right beneath Gio's feet, basically, and he took his mask off. Our catcher's taught anytime that ball's on the ground, get rid of your mask.
Yeah, anytime you're going after the baseball, take your mask off. Now, there's some dispute as to plays at the plate. Some guys like to keep it on. Other guys like to take it off. But as far as a ball in the dirt or a pop-up, as soon as that ball leaves your line of vision and you're not sure where it is, get rid of the mask right away. It gives you much better field of vision.
Cameron was running on that 3-2 that was hit foul. Not running this time, and it's laced foul. Harden ready. Cameron goes. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Very similar start to last night. And they got the first 3 on, including 2 walks in front of Prince Fielder.
Rich Harden has just about reached his quota. He's only averaging a little over 3 walks per 9 innings on the season. 2 already to the first 2 batters, and this is not the formula you were hoping for leading up to the at bat by their cleanup hitter Prince Fielder.
Well, he's only given up 36 hits in 60 innings with the Cubs. Swing and a miss. So if he does throw strikes, you like his chances of having excellent success. He has averaged 6 innings per start. 10 previous outings, 60 innings coming in. And he sure could use a ground ball in this spot with Fielder on deck. 1-1. Rich taking his time here with runners on base. Hit foul, 1-2. Bob, you've talked about the high fastball. Pitchers go after Ryan Braun. Well, that's what Rich Harden does extremely well.
It elevates that four-seamer up around the letters, maybe even a little bit higher. That's a pitch that Braun has really had problems laying off of lately. And with Ryan Dempster and Jason Marquis pitching the first 2 games of this series, both sinker ball pitchers. They're more accustomed to keeping the ball down, but much easier for Rich Harden to elevate if necessary.
Deep drive. Edmonds is back on it. He's going to get there. Cameron will tag and head to third base. Ball sounded pretty good off the bat. Again, the wind helping the pitchers. How about Jim Edmonds? Looked like he just took his eyes off the ball, got back to the spot, put his glove up to block the sun, and he caught it.
That's a changeup up and out over the plate, not the location you like to throw that off-speed pitch. Normally you want to keep that changeup down. A lot more deceptive when you can throw that change from the middle of the thighs down, and Edmonds battling the sun and the wind makes the catch right in front of the warning track, and now the fun begins.
First and third for Fielder. 6 for 9, 6 RBIs in the series, couple of home runs, 3 doubles. And our Menards Big Lumber stat going back to last year, he has the most RBIs against the Cubs. See everybody else on that list in the division. Not a big surprise. Oh, 2.
Elevated fastball that time to Fielder. Barely able to catch up and foul it out of play.
Fielder 1 for 3 against Harden. The hit was a homer. See what they do here. 0-2.
Another high fastball. Missed the spot badly that time, but he missed in a good location off the plate, down and in.
His last time out was 1 week ago in St. Louis. He was pitching on 12 days rest, and he got the win. DeRosa will throw to second and hit the runner. So everybody's safe. I think everybody was surprised that Mark decided to try to get Durham when he had the short throw to first. It's 1-0 Milwaukee's. Fielder will get his 94th RBI. And it'll be a fielder's choice.
A rare bad decision by Mark DeRosa. The play's right in front of him there at first base. The off balance throw had to get it across the runner to Ryan Theriot at second base. I mean, that play you just have to concede that the run is going to score, take the out at first base, and let Rich Harden do his thing to the next hitter. No chance to turn a double play on that ball. Just take the out at first.
Hardy had 3 hits last night. Another block by Soto.
Yeah, we hear that cliche all the time. Try not to do too much. Well, that was the case right there where Mark DeRosa tried to do too much.
The Brewers don't have a hit, but they have scored a run, and they have 2 men on for Hardy. How about that? Very rare to see him give up a first inning run. 2-1. Jason Marquis working on about a week and a half of rest. Felt like his release point wasn't right where he wanted it to be until a few batters into the game, but unfortunately for him and the Cubs, it was too late. A similar issue here for Rich Harden.
That's a very common problem when a guy's had an excessive layoff out of his normal routine, the inability to find that good release point and hit your spots consistently.
Changeup was too high. 3-2 the count.
Rich has some very unusual warm-up techniques. He does that for several what we call shadow boxing. No baseball in his hand, just going through the mechanics of his delivery. He has a couple of different points where he pauses to make sure that all of his body parts are where they're supposed to be, just to make sure that mechanically he's sound before he even picks up the baseball and begins to throw to the catcher.
Big 3-2 coming up. Runners not going, and Hardy got a piece of it, and Giovanni Soto's mask.
Well, Gio wasn't into the ball game before this. He's into it now. Caught him on the right side of the mask and spun it around there.
Another 3-2 and another foul. A lot of times in this spot, the runners would be going, but Rich Harden misses a lot of bats. And J.J. Hardy has struck out 95 times. And they're loaded up. That's his third walk.
I'll tell you, Lennon, looking at the big picture with Rich Harden, this elevated pitch count here in the first inning is obviously going to shorten his outing on the other end at some point. Already 29 pitches here in the first inning, only one out so far. Wish you can make that up if you have a couple of quick pitch innings somewhere after the first inning. Get your team back in the dugout quickly and kind of level that pitch count. I think the major league average is between 15 and 16 pitches per inning, adding up all the pitchers in Major League Baseball. That's the average.
The thing we have seen from Rich is that when he has gotten into trouble, generally he gets out of it by striking out guys. He does not have a strikeout against the first 5 hitters today. He sure could use one here. Bases loaded, 1 out for Corey Hart. He's really been scuffling. Called strike. Hart with a 2-run single in the 7th inning last night. His only hit in the series. That snapped and 0 for 14. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Another elevated fastball. Not sure if this one is by design or not. Rich Harden has missed his spot so consistently here in the first inning. That may have been an accident, but it works in his favor.
Two-strike pitch. He does get the strikeout. Got him on the changeup. 2 down. Well, it hasn't been pretty. If he can escape with only 1 run, that would be big.
Not only did he change the eye level with that high fastball, but then he comes back with a changeup down low in the strike zone. The difference in location, the difference in speed, enough to get Corey Hart way out in front of that pitch.
Now Craig Counsell, the third baseman. Counsell, having watched what's going on here in the first inning, he may take until he gets a strike. Already 3 walks. Swinging away, foul tip, strike 1.
I think opposing hitters against Rich Harden, when you get him in a fastball count, you better be ready to swing. I'm sure the book on Rich Harden is get him early in the sequence. Don't let him get to a count where he can possibly strike you out with that changeup.
I think the big key to his success, Bob, is when he's gotten fastball counts. Sometimes he doesn't throw his fastball because he's been able to get the changeup over. Fans being heard early on, encouraging the Cubs starter to get out of this first inning. Here's the pitch. Inside 2-2.
This would be a phenomenal job of damage control if he can get the third out of this inning before the Brewers push across another run.
The kick and the 2-2 taken again, and everybody will be on the move as the pitch count builds. "37 pitches already in the first inning. There go the runners. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. It took 38 pitches. He did give up a run. It could have been a lot worse. Cubs coming up.
Closed captioning on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Luna.
773-202 Luna.
When a major hospital wanted to add on to their benefits package at no direct cost to the company, their very first word was Aflac. Find out more at aflacforbusiness.com.
The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA offers a variety of options, including the Red Line, which stops right at Wrigley Field at the Addison Station. If you must drive, try the remote parking operation at DeVry University, located near the Addison and Rockwell intersection. The remote lot offers parking and an express bus for just $6. For more details, call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000 or visit Cubs.com.
Nissan set out to create the perfect on-road vehicle, and in the process, created a category. Introducing two crossover leaders from Nissan. The redesigned Murano, awarded as an IIHS top safety pick, and the versatile Rogue, named 2008's best new small crossover. Lease the 27 MPG Nissan Rogue, just $229 a month. Don't follow the leader, own one. At your Nissan dealer now.
Chicago Tribune Live, weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Now Lou Pinella's Cubs lineup against Dave Bush and the Brewers, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Soriano, Terrio, Lee at the top. Ramirez, Edmonds, DeRosa in the middle. Soto, Fukudome. Kosuke getting his first start since the 10th of this month. And Rich Harden, the pitcher, hitting ninth.
Take a look at the Brewers defensively. If you've got your scorecard from last night, the same way. Braun, Cameron, and Hart across the outfield. Counsell, Hardy, Durham, and Fielder across the infield. The Iron Man, Jason Kendall, behind the plate once again today. And he'll be catching pitches from right-hander Dave Bush. He was 28 start of the season, looking to even his record at 10-10.
He was born in Pittsburgh. He went to Wake Forest. And the Blue Jays made him a second-round pick in 2002. Strike one on Soriano. Hit foul. It was in on the hands. Couple of heaters at 88 from Bush.
Yeah, Bush will throw a couple of different fastballs. We've seen that sinker. It'll be in the low or high 80s, low 90s. He has a cutter that he'll use away from the right-handed hitters as well. Also throws a curveball and a straight changeup. A lot of high fastballs to right-handed hitters.
There's a curveball blown outside. That's what you like to do at the end of every day. Count your money.
It doesn't take very long.
Broken bat, one hopper to Durham. 1 out. Now Ryan Theriot. Bounce back and forth between the 2 and the 8 hole in this lineup.
I'm sure Lou Piniella would agree with me. The importance of having players that don't mind hitting in that 8 spot in the lineup. That can occasionally be a troubling spot. You don't want to bury a guy down there, especially a guy like Ryan Theriot, who's been among the league leaders in batting average all season long. We've seen Giovanni Soto down there today. Kosuke Fukudome, Mark DeRosa's hitting the 8 spot from time to time. Mike Fontenot when he's been in the lineup, and as you said, Theriot bouncing back and forth between the 2 and the 8 spot.
We talk about this more than I'm sure Ryan does. But when you look at the league leaders and all the different major offensive categories, they list the top 10. You wouldn't mind finishing in the top 10. Well, right now he's 10th in batting and 10th in on-base percentage in the National League. Love to see him finish among those leaders by season's end. He's at .304 on the year with an on-base of .382, which is excellent.
And we don't keep stats on how many times he has advanced runners with ground balls to the right side, setting it up for his teammates later in the lineup. Just an ideal number 2 hitter.
Cameron will get there for the 2nd out. And it brings up Derek Lee, who's just 4 for 22 in his career against Bush. Dave Bush has never won in this ballpark. 0-3 in 5 previous starts. You always want innings out of your starter. But especially today for Milwaukee after Ben Sheets left after 2. They called it forearm tightness after the game. He said it was more the elbow and that it had been bothering him for a while. Goes for the very compact delivery. Called strike 3 on a fastball, and he goes 1-2-3 in the first inning. Lee having a conversation with Ed Rapuano. 1-0 Brewers.
I'm feeling fine whenever you shine. Give me your light, make it alright.
They say the sun shines a little brighter in Florida. See why. With over 45 daily flights from Chicago Midway to the Sunshine State, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Go to southwest.com/Florida to book your trip today.
You are now free to move about the country.
We've come all the way out here, and you'll never believe what we've found. The internet. Seems it can't hide here either. Simply insert the AT&T Laptop Connect card. You're connected at up to 3G speeds. Email business proposals and place orders online. All on the go. I'm Bill Curtis. And I've just found the internet.
The internet can't hide anymore. Switch to the network with the best coverage and get the AT&T Laptop Connect card for free.
The Buick, Pontiac, and GMC employee discount on every 2008. And now, many 2009s. You pay what we pay, but only until September 30th.
Now get a G6 starting at just $16,720, or a Yukon starting at just $27,330. Hurry, these are the final days of the GM Employee Discount for Everyone event. See your dealer by September 30th. All season long, don't miss College Football Mania on Comcast Sportsnet as we bring you the top games from college football's most elite conferences. It's College Football Mania all season long, only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Every Thursday, no other show goes more in-depth on your Chicago Bears than Countdown to Kickoff. Join Pro Bowl cornerback Nathan Vasher and 85 Bear Tom Thayer as they break down every angle before the weekend's big matchup. Countdown to Kickoff, tonight at 11, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Brewers with the run in the top of the first. The Cubs go down in order. Derek Lee didn't look too pleased with that called third strike from Ed Rapuano. We'll get a look at it here on Pitch Tracker. Just off the corner of the plate. Something that I'm sure Derek will file away for later at bats in this ball game. Something that you hear a lot of in the game. As long as the umpire's consistent, as long as he calls the same pitch a strike and a ball for both teams, I never really bought into that theory.
I think most guys just want all the calls. They don't care if the other team gets any of them. 1-1 on Jason Kendall. Oh no, marrying a Brewer. Is she marrying a Brewer fan, a Brewer player, or someone who makes beer? Bernie Brewer?
You never know.
Jason Kendall at one time caught Rich Harden when they were in Oakland. It's 3-2. A troubling trend early on for Harden, who walked 3 in the first inning. He hasn't given up a hit. And a lot of base runners. Swing and a miss. 3 straight strikeouts.
Once again, it comes on a fastball up. I'm not sure if it's by design, if that's what Rich Harden is attempting to do, elevate that fastball to a lot of these Brewers hitters, or whether he's just having problems like Jason Marquis did yesterday, trying to find his release point here early in the game.
Now Dave Bush, a former catcher, he went to Wake Forest to catch. He ended up becoming a closer. If we break down Harden's last start, he went 6 innings. He walked only 1, gave up 2 runs, and he struck out 3. He talked about his velocity being down a little bit. He addressed that after the game. Told reporters that location and changing speeds was a big key, and that he still has something extra if he needs it. Based on what we've seen here today, he hasn't really had his location. He's piling up strikeouts, but also way too many walks. That's 4 straight punch-outs. Aramis Ramirez is on board for the Universal Orlando Chicago Cubs trip. Join him, All-Star Giovanni Soto, Mark DeRosa, Ryan Theriot, Lee Smith, Hall of Famers Billy Williams, Fergie Jenkins, and many more. Fans will have unprecedented up-close access to the players that you can't get anywhere else. For more info, call AAA Travel at 1-866-YOUR-AAA or go to AAA.com. We'll see you in December. Cameron walked and scored in the first. He's down 0-2. Harden seems to be getting it back.
A little better feel for that changeup. Dropped that one right on the outside corner at the knees.
Two on the way outside.
That appeared to be off the plate away, trying to nip that outside corner at 95 miles an hour.
Didn't chase the change. 2-2.
You mentioned the fact that Jason Kendall had caught Rich Harden in Oakland. Always a little concerned about that when a player on the opposing team had received a lot of pitches from one of my guys taking the mound.
Foul tip strikeout. 5 straight strikeouts for Rich Harden. 1-0 Brewers early.
MPG. It's a very popular topic lately. We're proud to say the IS-250 leads its class in MPG. But MPG isn't everything. You have to consider resale, reliability, all 7 costs to see why the IS-250 has the lowest cost of ownership in its class. See how they add up at your Lexus dealer. Lease the 2008 IS-250 all-wheel drive for $359 a month for 36 months with $35.59 due at signing.
What do you think of Mike Wallace and the Geico Toyota?
Whatever. He's out there selling car insurance. I'm out there to win.
Isn't he your cousin?
I didn't say I wouldn't go fishing with the man. All I'm saying is, he comes near me, I'll put him in the wall.
You don't even race in the series.
Listen, go-kart track, grocery store, those remote-controlled boats. When it comes to Mike Wallace, the story ends with me putting him in the wall.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
In celebration of our 100th anniversary,
We're sharing our GM employee discount with everyone.
You pay what we pay.
Not a cent more.
The GM employee discount.
for everyone.
And now we've extended the discount through September 30th. Use it to get the 2008 Chevy Silverado with better available V8 fuel economy than Tundra and F-150. That's right. Get this 08 Silverado half-ton for around $20,500 after all offers.
Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Kia Motors. Kia, the power to surprise. Rico, move your ideas forward with Rico dependability. And by Nissan and your Nissan dealer.
Aramis Ramirez has been hot. A 9-game hitting streak during which he's batted .444. And he's in the top 4 in the league in RBIs with 108. Sixth season with at least 100 knocked in. Bouncer backing up Counsell.
It's time to check out today's AT&T delivery, and we've talked a lot about Prince Fielder, but Aramis Ramirez has delivered in this series, coming up with a lot of big hits, 5 for 8 in the series with a couple doubles, a line drive home run into the bleachers last night. He's driven in 3. That was his homer against Ben Sheets in the ball game last night. If you blinked, you missed it. Aramis Ramirez has delivered in this series as he has all year long.
Bush has not allowed a base runner as he faces Jim Edmonds. Strike 1. Edmonds has taken Dave Bush out of the park twice in his career. High fly ball. Cameron just going to watch that ball get out a home run. He powered it out the other way. That makes it 9 homers in 98 second half at bats. He's tied it up.
Pitch tracks. That is right in the middle of the zone. An off-speed pitch. Our Belvedere going downtown. Home run replay. Jim Edmonds now a .500 lifetime hitter against Dave Bush with 3 home runs.
So just like that, a tie ball game. About how each team has gotten its run. Just one swing for the Cubs to get theirs. Brewers piled up a bunch of base runners in the first. Eventually scored their run on a fielder's choice. It wasn't Prince Fielder's choice. It was Mark DeRosa's choice. He threw to second. Strike three, 2 strikeouts for Dave Bush. I love looking into the dugout after a guy hits a home run. All of his teammates come up to him. What was the pitch? What was the pitch?
What'd you hit? What'd you hit? That no stride approach by Jim Edmonds. Just a little weight exchange. Back foot back onto the front foot. Boy, he drives that ball to the opposite field as good as any left-handed hitter in baseball.
Corey Hart ends up laying out as he makes a catch. It ended up being a 9-pitch inning, but one of those pitches ended up in the seats. 1-1.
It's Toyota's National Clearance Event, the perfect time for amazing deals and selection. And all month long, get great deals in SUVs like the 2008 Highlander Sport V6. Lease one now for just $315 a month. Or get the versatile RAV4 with $750 cash back. Or get a 2008 4Runner with low 0% APR for 60 months. So don't miss this opportunity to save big at the Toyota National Clearance Event. Hurry into your Toyota dealer today.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago.
So, you're a green person, but which shade? Confusing, isn't it? Well, True Value's Color Made Simple can help. With exclusive tools, trained professionals, and expert advice, finding your color will always be simple. Now let's talk purple. True Value's Color Made Simple.
Meeting the challenge since 1940.
If it's got a motor. That's our slogan here at Clinton Motor Works. And what's it mean? Well, we have one of the area's best selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Oh yeah, and the cruising coolers. How great is that? A 13-mile-an-hour cooler to ride. Just another reason to stop in and see what's going on. Now let's talk warranty. We have the area's only lifetime engine warranty on most all the vehicles we sell. That's right, your engine blows, you get it fixed for free. That's why people do business with us. For your next great sales and finance experience, we'll see you soon at Clinton Motor Works.
If it's got a motor.
Sign up for a subscription to Vineline, the official monthly magazine of the Chicago Cubs. Vineline offers exclusive player features, team analysis, and minor league coverage. In print and now available online through the Cubs Club on Cubs.com. Visit the Cubs official website to order Vineline today. We're still talking about that home run by Jim Edmonds. It's a 1-1 tie. Ray Durham will be retired in F7. Snaps a string of 5 consecutive strikeouts for Rich Harden, who made 38 pitches in the first inning, 16 in the second.
That goes without saying. A very tough sun here at Wrigley Field today. Right now, especially for the guys in the middle of the field, second, short, and center field. Not quite so bad in left and right, but it will move to the right side of the diamond as the game goes on.
Good to see the Cub fins on the bleachers. That's what it said, FN. Terrio gets it up quickly. Braun is out. Nicely done.
Well, this is potentially one of those quick pitch innings we talked about back in the first. When you run up a huge pitch total early in the ball game, you hope to have an inning just like this where you can get away with single digits and get your team back in that dugout quickly and possibly buy yourself another inning later in the game.
Well, what you hope as you now look ahead for the rest of the day is that the Brewers had their shot. Their one big shot at Rich Harden, and all they could get was one. And they're hoping that they're going to get another chance like they had in the first, but you don't get too many against guys like Hart.
Not against good pitchers. Better cash in the opportunities when they show up.
On the season, Fielder has hit .405 with 4 homers and 12 RBIs against the Cubs. One and two the count. Here's a pitch. Went upstairs with a fastball. We've seen him get it up to 94, 95 on occasion.
It's good to see, though, that like he said after his last start, he has it. He just doesn't use it all the time. There was some question as to whether he could hit those kind of numbers. Kind of nice to have a 96-mile-an-hour heater in your back pocket you can use whenever you feel like it.
Yeah. That ball was crushed. And a lot of sun across Waveland.
I think everybody's okay. It was a Brewer fan that got hit with a Fielder jersey on.
3-2. Ramirez pretty lonely on the left side of the infield. Everybody else over on the right side. Swing and a miss. Blew it by him at 94. It's a 1-1 tie as we go to the Cubs half of the third.
The Buick, Pontiac, and GMC employee discount on every 2008. And now, many 2009s. You pay what we pay, but only until September 30th.
Now get a G6 starting at just $16,720. Or a Lucerne starting at just $24,122. Hurry, these are the final days of the GM Employee Discount for Everyone event. See your dealer by September 30th.
I am your idea, and I'm huge. Tab me, bind me, stack me, send me round. I'm your big idea. You can't stop this. I'm your biggest idea. And Rico moves me, shows me, sends me. Leaves me behind, but never in a bind. It's the big time. I'm your big idea. And Rico's how we go and go and go.
Nissan set out to create the perfect on-road vehicle, and in the process, created a category. Introducing 2 crossover leaders from Nissan. The redesigned Murano, awarded as an IIHS top safety pick, and the versatile Rogue, named 2008's best new small crossover. Lease the 27 MPG Nissan Rogue, just $229 a month. Don't follow the leader, own one. At your Nissan dealer now.
Every week, Bears Blitz is the show for you, the diehard Bears fan. Team press conferences from Hellas Hall, exclusive interviews, and a complete preview of the upcoming matchup. Bears Blitz, today at 4:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Coming up tonight at 6:30 on Sports Night, presented by Dex. Full post-game recap of today's Cubs-Brewers series finale. And the Bears ramp up for their home opener versus Tampa Bay. Join Mark Shanowski for Sports Night, presented by Dex, tonight at 6:30, only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Kosuke Fukudome had been relegated to bench duty. Had come in late for defense, but this is his first start in 8 days. He's batting 8th in the lineup. He's hitting .436 with 2 homers on the season against the Brewers. A lot of those games were played early on when the Brewers came here twice. Game tying home run in the bottom of the ninth off Eric Gagne on opening day. Skied to left, and it's Ryan Braun, who has not committed an error in left in his first year out there after making the switch from third base. Kind of hoping he would drop it when he said that.
You need to say it louder so he can hear you.
It's been a strange start for Rich Harden. Gets his first at bat. Really had trouble locating in the first inning, but since then he's been very sharp. And he might say what Marquis said last night. Just took me a while to get my bearings straight.
That's something that both those guys would possibly make some kind of an adjustment if they find themselves starting on long rest again. Maybe throw a few extra warm-up pitches in that bullpen. Maybe stop throwing a little bit earlier, sit down for a few minutes, get up and throw the equivalent of an inning's worth of pitches in the bullpen again. And just anything to try to get you over that hump of initially not having the good release point.
Right back to the pitcher. Just thought it'd be interesting to look at the release points. And Dave Bush, we talked about being fairly compact. And Rich Harden really gets good extension. Really reaches back.
Yeah, he really does. It's almost like he says putting his arm back towards second base before he ultimately pivots and delivers that pitch to home plate. They call a real long arm delivery. Dave Bush a little more of a short arm delivery.
Even watch his feet as he gets set to go into the windup. Barely moves at all. Short leg kick. Bush spent some time in the minors early this season. They were trying to kind of lengthen things out with that delivery. Eventually he kind of went back to what got him here in the first place. It's 2-0 on Soriano. Inside, 3 balls, no strikes. Soriano 7th in the league and slugging .557. Dave Bush, former Blue Jay, current Brewer. 3-1.
You don't see Fonzie take a fastball down around the knees very often on a 3-1 count.
He's watched 5 pitches in this at bat. Here's the 3-2. Taken just off the plate, and he walked him.
That very short step you talked about to get himself into his delivery. Very compact. Not quite a catcher's throw, but kind of cocks that ball behind his head before delivering to home plate and missed down low and away on ball 4 to Alfonso Soriano.
This will be the first time Bush has worked out of the stretch. He threw to first before he even went to the set position. Going to catch Soriano, and he could not.
Well, we've shown you that shot of the good base stealers that get out there to a point where they can peek in and see the catcher signs, and that's a good time to throw over. As that pitcher's looking in to get his initial sign from the catcher, you can catch that base runner peeking toward home plate. Sometimes you can snap a throw over there and get a pick off at first base. Great stolen base percentage on the season.
No doubt. I mean, we could sit here and say it'd be nice to see Soriano with 35, 40 steals, but the key is that when he does run, he's safe. And he's done that 90% of the time. There he goes. And the throw is going to get him. So we just talked about his great percentage. Was caught for the third time on the season by Jason Kendall, who's had a fantastic year throwing out runners. 1-1.
All right, your fare is going to be $69.
Wow, it's not bad. That's it?
Yeah. Oh, and give me $25 for a bag fee, $15 for a booking fee. Why don't you just give me your whole wallet? Give me the whole thing. Give it to me now. Gimme, 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 gimme. Is there a problem?
Yeah, but that's more than you said it would be.
Hidden fees are the other side of some low fares. But on Southwest Airlines, what you see is what you pay. Low fares, no hidden fees.
Congratulate Team USA's own bronze medalist Sonia Richards for stepping up at the Beijing Olympic Games. And put your best foot forward too. Get internet that's fast and affordable with AT&T high-speed internet. Switch from your existing cable internet provider to get a limited time offer of up to $125 cash back with higher speeds. Plus, order online and get a free wireless gateway after rebate. AT&T is a proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team.
It's Toyota's National Clearance Event, the perfect time for amazing deals and selection. Come in now and get low 0% APR financing on the best-selling compact truck, the 2008 Tacoma, or get $2,500 cash back, or choose the 2008 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Tundra, with 0% financing for 60 months, or $4,000 cash back. So don't miss this opportunity to save big at the Toyota National Clearance Event. Hurry into your Toyota dealer today.
Tomorrow, watch as Dean Lee and the Cubs block Albert Pujols and the Redbirds right out of the Central Division race. Coverage starts with Lexus Cubs Pregame Live. Cubs Cards in HD. Tomorrow at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
It's a 1-1 tie as we begin the fourth. Len and Bob and our Comcast Sportsnet crew. We'll have tomorrow's series opener against the Cardinals. Adam Wainwright for the Cards and Carlos Zambrano coming off a no-hitter for the Cubs. Harden's 1-0 to J.J. Hardy. 2 balls, no strikes. After the high pitch, that'll send Edmonds back. He's on the track, right in the middle of the warning track to haul it in.
Well, even with that wind blowing in a gale from right field, the ball seems to be carrying pretty good, especially to straightaway center. Look at the location of this pitch on Pitch Tracker. Up high out of the strike zone, but Hardy able to drive that top hand through there, get the barrel on the ball, and gave it a ride to the warning track.
It's 9 straight sent down by Harden since his 3rd walk of the ball game. He walked 3 of the first 5 batters. And a big strikeout of Corey Hart with the bases full in the first. That was the 2nd out, and then he struck out Counsell to end it. Fouled right at the plate. The ball and 2 strikes. I want to welcome all those viewers, men and women serving around the globe, watching on the Armed Forces Network today. Thank you for all you do. And be safe. And also those watching in Canada on Rogers Sportsnet. Rich Harden from Victoria, British Columbia.
Also being seen in Europe on the North American Sports Network. So welcome in.
Called strike 3. Number 7 for Harden. Time for the Aflac trivia question. What current Brewer played with Dale Swaim in the major leagues?
That's a good one.
I think I know that one. And if you were watching earlier in the series, we had a Dale Swaim note about his final major league hit. It might give you a clue. It didn't give you the answer, but it might help.
Subtle.
Yeah. I can tell you that Aramis Ramirez was a teammate of Dale Swaim's with the Pirates. That's how you would make that connection. Inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Rich Harden got Craig Counsell to chase a fastball up out of the zone to end that first inning with the bases loaded. See if he goes back to that pitch once again. It's like Gio wants it up. If a guy exposes a weakness at the plate, you keep going at it until he shows you he's not going to chase that pitch anymore. And then you keep it in the back of your mind for future reference.
Full count. Here comes a 78th pitch for Harden. Need at least another one here to get Counsell. About half of those pitches were thrown in the first inning. There's ball 4.
Hey fans, watch the Cubs take on the Cardinals Friday at 1:20. Be sure to get here early. The first 10,000 adults 21 and older will receive a Cubs white t-shirt compliments of Anheuser-Busch.
If you can't make it out, we'll have it for you right here on Comcast Sportsnet. First pitch at 1:20.
Good to see the adults getting something. Well, we take good care of the kids over the course of the baseball season. 21 and older to get that white t-shirt tomorrow. You can give it to a youngster after you get it, but it has to be an adult. Give it to a kid.
That's right. One and one on Jason Kendall. His father, Fred, was a major league catcher for 12 years. Good connection. Fred made the second out in the 9th inning for San Diego during the Milt Pappas no-hitter in 1972. Counsell walked with 2 outs, and it's 1-2 on Kendall. Good contact hitter. He does make contact. He sends Pucadome back, but he has it on the move for the 3rd and final out. Harden, by the way, hasn't allowed a hit through 4, even though he struggled in the first. 1-1.
To help pay everyday bills when you're sick and can't work, Aflac gives you cash. Because these days, things can really add up. Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Hey Cubs fans, are you looking to get tickets to the hottest Cubs games this year? Visit Cubs.com and click on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Cubs.com. Don't miss all the fun and excitement at the friendly confines with StubHub. There's always a ticket available to a Cubs game.
In celebration of our 100th anniversary,
We're sharing our GM employee discount with everyone.
You pay what we pay.
Not a cent more.
The GM employee discount.
for everyone.
And now we've extended the discount through September 30th. Use it to get the 2008 Chevy Malibu with better city fuel economy than Accord and Camry. That's right. Get this 2008 Chevy Malibu LS for around $19,000.
Introducing Touch of Color, the mark of excellence. Featuring continuous weather, news, sports, and stock quote updates. Samsung, design that performs. September is Samsung month at Apt Electronics. Bring an AnyTube TV for recycling at Apt in Glenview and receive a $75 credit towards any Samsung HD TV. Celebrating 72 years, save 12% at Apt Electronics. Pleasing people since 1936.
Time for today's Aflac trivia question, and the answer. Which current Brewer played with Dale Swain in the majors? Kind of gave it away, didn't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
The catcher, Jason Kendall, with the Pirates back in the late 90s. Swain was a first-round pick of the Brewers in 1982. He had a promising career ahead of him until he broke his leg. In 1988, never really was the same again. So Terrio gets another chance. It was during his at-bat, and Soriano was caught stealing. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to J.J. Hardy. Hey, Cubs fans, Cubs games are now on Comcast Sportsnet on demand. Comcast customers go to digital channel 999, then look for Comcast Sportsnet and watch Cubs games on video on demand. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Cubs games on demand, not available in all areas. Inside on Derek Lee. Hitters count 2-0. Tied for second in hits. Jose Reyes running away with it in the National League. So Ichiro got the 200 hits again. High in the air. Cameron battling the sun a little bit. Two away.
Sounded good off the bat, just didn't go very far. I really think that scoreboard and the bleachers in center field have a huge determining factor in how far a ball carries when the wind is blowing in. If you keep it down a little bit lower, you get some protection from that scoreboard. You get it up too high above that board and the wind really plays with the ball.
Ramos sends that ball deep to left. It's going to go 2-1. A 10-game hitting streak for Ramos, and the Cubs lead for the first time.
Aramis Ramirez's last 2 home runs have not been tape measure blasts, but that a breaking ball or a cut fastball right in the middle of the zone. Our Belvedere going downtown, home run replay. For the second time in a couple of days, Aramis Ramirez with a line drive homer into the bleachers in the left.
Out. Edmonds tied it with a homer in the second. 26 for Aramis. So the Cubs have their first lead in 2 days. Edmonds to left, Braun coming over. So Aramis Ramirez with his 26th homer, his 109th RBI. It's a go-ahead RBI as the Cubs lead 2-1.
Nissan set out to create the perfect on-road vehicle, and in the process, created a category. Introducing 2 crossover leaders from Nissan. The redesigned Murano, awarded as an IIHS top safety pick, and the versatile Rogue, named 2008's best new small crossover. Lease the 27 MPG Nissan Rogue, just $229 a month. Don't follow the leader, own one at your Nissan dealer.
Adding a color? Let's start with some idea cards. That'll get you to the right one.
We're here because we've been there with the tools, products, and advice to get it done right. True Value. Start right, start here.
Get the right products and expert advice for your next painting project at K&K True Value. Start right, start here.
Ode to the Subway $5 footlong. If you don't take a liking to the new Subway Everyday Value menu featuring ginormous subs slathered in awesome for a price just shy of insane, well, you were either born without taste buds or a fundamental understanding of economics. High five Abe Lincoln and choose one of 8 Yum Rockets for a 5 spot. $5 regular footlongs on the new Everyday Value menu. Only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
You're watching the home of the Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox, Comcast Sportsnet. Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Aflac. Ask about it at work. And by the Toyota Tundra. Visit whytundra.com to find out why the Toyota Tundra is a great way to keep moving forward.
All smiles down at third base. Aramis Ramirez with a go-ahead home run. Only 2 hits in the game, both by the Cubs and both home runs.
And then we talk so much about Prince Fielder and the damage he's done in the first 2 games of this series. Well, if you're the Brewers, you look at Aramis Ramirez exactly the same way as the Cubs look at Prince Fielder. Ramirez obviously locked in at the plate, seeing the ball extremely well, getting the barrel of the bat on the ball just about every at bat.
Two and one on the pitcher Bush, Cameron, and then Durham for the visitors in the 5th. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Late swing. He's gone full on the pitcher. .89 pitches thrown by Harden. That was the 90th. Hit foul. Rocks and fires. Ball 4. That's a leadoff walk. His 5th of the day. And between innings, the Menards grounds crew taking care of this beautiful field. Renovated this past offseason. It's held up extremely well. And after today, only 3 regular season home games left. Let's prepare for October, hopefully.
Yeah, and the grounds crew is preparing for Sunday when they will lead the crowd and take me out to the ball game in the 7th inning. I walked by the grounds crew room earlier today. Sound like the Vienna Boys Choir. They sound great.
Wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss by Cameron. The pitch count's going to bite Rich Harden here soon. Only in the 5th inning. And it has built up pretty fast. And that walk to Bush certainly didn't help. No action in the bullpen. But at 93, be very surprised if he gets into the 6th. 8 pitches to Dave Bush to start the inning. It goes back to just about every outing Harden has had, whether he's been excellent, just okay, maybe even a little below average. You look at the scoreboard, he's only given up 1 run. I mean, and an off day for him is not an off day for most pitchers. He still can get people out, and he's doing it today.
Well, as an opposing team, you know that going in against Rich Harden, you're not going to have a lot of opportunities. You're probably not going to put big numbers on the board on that day. So you tell yourself going into the game, we really have to take advantage of opportunities, and the Brewers had their best shot back in that 1st inning. Had the bases loaded, already had a run on the board. He was able to come back and strike out Corey Hart and Craig Counsell to avoid further damage, and has really pitched effectively up to this point.
Lee playing behind the runner. And the 1-2 pitch. Hit hard. Harden off the mound very quickly. He's going to take it by himself with Bush now at second base. You can just tell Rich is an excellent athlete.
Yeah, very quick on his feet, very light. He goes over there and scoops this ball. No reason to even risk an underhand toss onto Derek Lee. Just take it yourself. That runner's going to get second base. Just make sure you get that out at first.
Now Ray Durham is 1 for 13 in his career against Harden, including 0 for 1 in this ballgame. A lot of those previous battles were in the Bay Series between the Giants and the A's. Durham was acquired back in July from San Francisco while the Brewers were in San Francisco. A bit of a strange situation for Durham. He was in uniform for the Giants during what he knew was his last game with San Francisco. Back our way. The trade was announced after that game. After 3 innings in the dugout, he went back to the clubhouse. Just was too bizarre. I mean, who do you root for? You're in a Giant uniform, but you know you're going to be traded after the game to the team you're playing. That's awkward. A 100th pitch, and it's hit hard. And Kosuke is going to have to chase after it. I think he was trying to deke the runner. Bush is going to stop at third. I'll tell you, Bob, you could say he misplayed it, but I think Kosuke knew he had no shot at that ball, and because he played it like he might catch it, Dave Bush could not score.
I would tend to agree with you. I mean, Kosuke Fukudome doesn't usually misjudge balls off the bat. He gets the best jump of any outfielder on this Cubs roster. I think I agree with you. I think he realized he couldn't catch that ball. He squared up to make Bush think he was going to make the catch in right field, and then just turned, went to the spot where the ball came off the wall, got it back in quickly. You see Dave Bush didn't know what to do. He thought Fukudome was going to catch the ball. That prevented him from scoring on that line drive double in the corner in right field. Pretty heads-up play.
That is the first hit for the Brewers, and now action in the bullpen. This year, when you can't be at home to watch the Cubs on TV, check out MLB.tv. You can watch every out-of-market game of the season live online, even when you're traveling. And this year, live radio broadcasts are included with a subscription to MLB.tv. For more details, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. So Marge is the right-hander, Cott's the lefty. Second and third, one out, and Ryan Braun at the plate. Cubs leading 2-1, but the Brewers are threatening big time. Fielder on deck.
If you're a thinking hitter in this situation, and I'm sure Ryan Braun is a thinking hitter, he's got to believe he's going to get pitches to hit in this sequence. First fastball right down the middle of the plate. You got Prince Fielder waiting in the on-deck circle. Rich Harden, I would assume, is going to go for a strikeout right here to at least give himself the option of intentionally walking Fielder.
Braun leads the entire National League in total bases with 318, 78 extra base hits, also first. Popped him up. Derek Lee in foul ground. That's a huge out. Braun lately has really scuffled. He's now just 3 for his last 41.
Lou holding up 4 fingers in the dugout. They're going to walk Fielder. He got 3 fastballs. 2 of them were good pitches to hit. That one got right in on his hands. Lifts it weakly into foul territory on the first base side. The struggles continue for Ryan Braun.
This will be the 6th walk of the day. The first of the intentional variety. Fielder now heading down to first. Milwaukee is 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. The Cubs have not had a chance with a runner in scoring position. Bases full of Brewers. J.J. Hardy at the plate. It's 2-1 Cubs. A pitch. Change up outside. We just talked about it. We don't know how many chances you'll get against a guy like Rich Harden, and the Brewers have been fortunate. They've had 2 innings like this, but so far they've plated just 1 run. That was back in the first. The kick and the 2-0 hit foul. You don't see guys square up Rich Harden even in a hitter's count. I mean, Durham did, but Hardy didn't.
Always seem to be just a little behind or a little ahead of the pitch. Get it out toward the end of the bat a little bit, occasionally down toward the trademark a little bit. A lot of foul tips back off the screen.
Well, you know Hardy's gearing up for a fastball in a hittable spot. 111 pitches. We'll see if Harden gives him a heater.
I think he will.
The 3-1. How about that? He took a checked swing on a 3-1 pitch. 3-2.
Perfect pitch.
Runners go. 3-2. Hit foul off the end of the bat.
Came right back with the same pitch, very nearly the same location.
Well, there's no question this will be it for Rich. Another 3-2. A fly ball to right. Kosuke running hard after it, and it's going to drift out of play.
Well, Hardy did Rich Harden a favor right there. That was probably ball 4 up and out of the strike zone. Little look at it on pitch tracker. 4-mile-an-hour heater up and out of the zone. Rich Harden spots due up 4th in the bottom half of the 5th inning, and because of the elevated pitch total and the number of high-stress pitches he's had to throw in this ball game, you have to believe this is his last hitter.
And tie a season high in pitches with this next one. The 3-2, another fly, sending Fukudome back deep. He's going to have room, makes a catch, and the inning is over, and Harden escapes. He got out of it. The big outs in the inning, the Braun foul out, and then Hardy on a 3-2 deep to right.
Welcome to Southwest Airlines.
Thanks. I need to check this bag. How much is that going to cost me?
There's no charge on Southwest, sir.
Hallelujah! Well, I have another one, and I'm sure I'll have to pay for that.
Actually, your first 2 checked bags are free.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
On Southwest Airlines, we don't believe in charging for things that should be free. So what you see is what you pay. Low fares, no hidden fees.
This month, take 30% off all groceries.
Take 30% off of your utility bill.
Save 30% on all gasoline.
We wish.
We wish.
We wish.
This month, Feldco windows are 30% off. Get ready for winter now. Save 30% on energy-efficient Feldco windows. Beat the high cost of energy. Do one window or do the whole house. But hurry, this offer ends September 30th.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
The Buick, Pontiac, and GMC employee discount on every 2008. And now, many 2009s. You pay what we pay, but only until September 30th.
Now get a G6 starting at just $16,720, or a Yukon starting at just $27,330. Hurry, these are the final days of the GM Employee Discount for Everyone event. See your dealer by September 30th.
Time now for a Buick Pontiac GMC Sports Update.
Luke Stuckmeyer with you for a little football news. The Bears' Devin Hester has torn cartilage in his ribs. He did not practice today, remains questionable for Sunday's home opener against Tampa Bay. More on Hester on Bears Blitz. That's after Lowe's Cubs postgame live. But right now, let's go back to London Bob at Wrigley.
Luke, Rich Harden finds ways to get out of jams. And he'll be done after 5 innings and 115 pitches. And a chance for the win. As the Cubs still lead 2-1. Mark DeRosa pops it up. J.J. Hardy goes out, calls for it. A sharp Aquas game changing play. Rich Harden with some big outs in the first inning. A couple of strikeouts to get out of a bases loaded situation. Then with runners at second and third and one out, he got Braun on a foul out in the fifth, and then a warning track fly out from Hardy with the bases loaded to end the inning.
Kind of a bizarre game for Rich Harden. He was in deep trouble in the first and fifth and cruised in the second, third, and fourth. But that Kosuke Fukudome playing right field with Dave Bush, the runner at second base, really loomed large in that last inning. The Brewers probably should have scored a run had it not been for Fukudome's decoy, holding Bush at second base and only allowing to advance as far as third.
One and two on Soto. Corey Hart left his feet. Catch a screamer hit by Soto his first time up. John and Evelyn Folkers from Waterloo, Iowa, celebrating birthdays here in September. John just turned 99. Evelyn will turn 97 coming up on the 27th. Their son Rich played ball in the majors back in the 70s. A slicing drive, and it'll land foul.
Happy 96th birthday to Emo Peretti, lifelong Cubs fan. Also 91-year-old Carolyn Larson. She's here at the ball game today, a lifelong Cub fan. She's here with her son, her daughter, and her grandkids. Happy birthday to Carolyn Larson.
The Knights of Columbus and St. Pius Church from Granger, Indiana, are at the ball game today. A busload of 56 Cubs fans. Joe Stakowitz, Grand Knight of the Father Baden Council, in charge, and has been for the past decade.
Big Cubs hello and a thank you to Dimitri Metalis. Sending some nice gifts up here in the booth today. Also Dan Beresford and Joe Pettit here at the ball game today, rooting the Cubs on.
Soto bounced it off his foot. Gio takes a beating as a catcher behind the plate, but he also takes a beating at the plate when he's batting. Sometimes loses the grip with the left hand. This time he fouled one hard off the lower left leg. He never shows the pain. Got him. On a breaking ball for the second out.
Well, that'll cause him more pain than that foul ball off the shin bone. Dave Bush working away at that outside corner. A little comeback sinker just off the outside corner. Very similar to the pitch that Derek Lee groused about earlier in the ball game.
Well, you're right. That was a fastball, even though it was off a few notches. Mid-80s as opposed to 88, 89. Michael Hoffpower on deck to bat for Harden. Jeff Samardzija will be the next Cubs pitcher in the sixth. So it's up to the bullpen the rest of the way. What is it today for the Brewers? ABH? Anybody but Harden?
Anybody but Harden.
Bush thought that might be strike three. Instead, it was ball one, 1-2. Two and two.
haven't seen many curveballs from Dave Bush in this game. Just doesn't seem to have good command of it today. He's tried it on 3 or 4 different occasions. He's had trouble finding the zone with it. Basically going with the 2 different fastballs, the sinker, the cutter, and some straight changeups.
Foul hit the facing the rail of the upper deck. Then he hit the top of the Cubs dugout. Almost ended up in play. There's other action around baseball, including a 3-3 tie in the bottom of the 11th in Pittsburgh, the Dodgers and the Pirates. Over in the AL, Kansas City pummeling the Mariners 10-0 at Kauffman Stadium in the last of the 5th. And the Angels with a run supporting Joe Saunders in the first at Oakland. 1-0. 3-2 on Fukudome. Ball 4. He had him 0-2 at one point. Cubs fans won't want to miss the recently published book Hoodoo: Unraveling the 100-Year Mystery of the Chicago Cubs, available at your nearest Chicagoland Walgreens, harrycarries.com, and wherever books are sold. Looking forward to that.
That was a big at bat right there by Kosuke Fukudome with 2 outs in the inning to draw the base on balls and get that pitcher spot up here to the plate in this inning. Had Kosuke made the last out, Samardzija goes out to take the mound, and you're really pretty much locked into having pitch 1 inning only unless you make a double switch. But with Fukudome reaching base, Micah Hoffpower will take the at bat, and Jeff Samardzija will come in clean and be available to pitch whatever necessary.
Strike on Hoffpower with a 4-homer game this season at AAA. Looking for his first home run in the majors. Drive in the air, but not deep enough. Hart with the catch, and the inning is over. Into the bullpen, Jeff Samardzija coming on. It's 2-1 Cubs.
The Arby's Rescue Brigade trains for the 99-cent barbecue deal.
Brigade, the RBQ is back, and it's available for just 99 cents. Arby's classic oven-roasted beef smothered in tangy barbecue sauce. And at just 99 cents, there's no better time to try one. You growing a mustache, Tuffy? I like it.
Arby's is saving the world from ordinary fast food with the return of barbecue. Get yours for just 99 cents and try our delicious new orange cream swirl shake. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Lower cooling and heating costs with a new Hunter ceiling fan from Menards. Right now, all stock Hunter ceiling fans are 25% off. Choose the 52-inch Jamestown ceiling fan in a cocoa finish, only $89.99, or the 48-inch low-profile model comes in 3 finishes, only $64.99. Brighten up the decor of any room with the Wildwood collection from Hunter. They feature an elegant bronze finish with white Scavo glass. A 3-light vanity is $39. A 3-light chandelier is only $77.
Save big money at Menards.
In celebration of our 100th anniversary,
we're sharing our GM employee discount with everyone.
You pay what we pay.
Not a cent more.
The GM employee discount.
For everyone.
And now we've extended the discount through September 30th. Use it to get the 2008 Chevy Silverado with better available V8 fuel economy than Tundra and F-150. That's right. Get this 08 Silverado half-ton for around $20,500 after all offers.
Tomorrow, watch as Dean Lee and the Cubs block Albert Pujols and the Redbirds right out of the Central Division race. Coverage starts with Lexus Cubs Pregame Live. Cubs Cards and HD. Tomorrow at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Oh, we've seen a few Brewers fans invading Wrigley Field for this big series. Rookie right-hander Jeff Samardzija will work to Corey Hart, Craig Counsell, and Jason Kendall. Hart with 2 strikeouts. I guess Jeff Samardzija was auditioning for Saturday Night Live. There's Todd Coffey. Monday night, Samardzija filled in for Ryan Dempster. Ground ball to short. Terrio will throw out Hart. It was a charity event with the Second City cast. Dempster had to cancel because his start was pushed back to Tuesday. Well, that makes sense. I mean, Jeff Samardzija would normally come in for Ryan Dempster in relief, so I guess Lou went to the bullpen for the Second City sketch comedy act. Notre Dame fans, pay attention. Jeff Samardzija versus Craig Counsell. One ball, no strikes.
A lot of his teammates have called Craig Counsell Rudy over the years because of his connection to Notre Dame.
And I don't think he'd call Jeff Samardzija Rudy. No, he was a superstar at Notre Dame. Football, baseball. In the end, he chose baseball over football. The beach ball has gotten onto the field.
Hey fans, pledge your allegiance to the Cubs by becoming a member of the Cubs Club, the official online fan club for the Chicago Cubs. Cubs Club members will receive benefits unavailable to other fans, including your very own 2008 membership card, MLB.com's game day audio for the 08 regular season, and much more. To join today, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on.
I'm out of breath. Nice job by the ball dude.
Yeah,
going out and getting that beach ball.
Heck of a sprint.
The beach ball dude. Got a nice hand from the crowd. Got his workout in.
And that ball dude was recently acquired from San Diego, where beach balls are on the field all the time. No air, nowhere.
3-2 pitch. He walked it. The Brewers have just one hit, but they've had some base runners today because of the 7 walks, 6 given up by Harden. How would you boil down the start for Rich Harden today?
It's hard to put a finger on it. You know, he's consistently effective, even as you said, when he doesn't have his best stuff. And it was pretty apparent today that he didn't have his good command right from the very beginning of this game. He found it for a couple of innings in the middle. But you know, the more you see of Rich Harden and his inability to get deep into the ball game because of pitch count, you know, Lou and Larry won't look forward to the postseason yet for obvious reasons, but we can. And if you're going to use Rich Harden as one of your starters in the postseason, and I'm certain that's a fact, you almost have to make sure that Sean Marshall is rested and ready to go behind him. When Rich Harden starts, the opposing manager will normally put a lot of lefties in the lineup. And if Harden's pitch count gets to a point where you've got to pull the plug on him, to follow him with a left-handed pitcher like Sean Marshall would seem to be a pretty good strategy going into those games.
Lou having another couple of words with his good friend Joe West. So it's Kendall taking strike one, 1-1. Mike Lamb on deck for Dave Bush.
Pretty good hit and run combination. Should Dale Swaim choose to go that direction, we know Jason Kendall is a very good contact hitter, and Craig Counsell with better than average speed over there at first base. With that in mind, Jeff Samar just snaps a throw over there to drive Counsell back to the bag, try to shorten that lead up a little bit.
There's Neil Kotz. Could be two, but it's booted by DeRosa. Everybody's safe. It's an error on Mark, his 11th of the year.
Normally when you see an error on a routine play like this, it's because the position player got a little ahead of himself. I didn't see DeRosa's head come up on that ball, but on plays like that, usually they try to start making that toss to second base before they secure the ball, but I think that one just took a little bit of a squirrely hop at the end and climbed up DeRosa's arm.
So first and second, one out. Here is Mike Lamb batting for Dave Bush, kind of like a biblical replacement. The 1-0 caught the corner. Bush went 5, gave up 2 runs. On just 2 hits, they were both home runs. Pitch, a fly to left. Soriano flipping down the shades. You're going to have room. Nope. Another Brewer rally without a hit. This time a walk and an error. Ground ball. Let's see if they can get one at second. They do. No chance for a double play. Ball was not hit very hard. Sent Terrio deep into the hole, but they did get the out at second. And it brings up Mike Cameron. Lee holding on Lamb at first. Counsell with his lead off third. He represents a tying run. 1-0 on Cameron. Samardzija has not thrown a first pitch strike in this inning. He's faced 5 batters. The 1-1 on the way, buried in the dirt. tied at 2-2 as Counsell scores. Cameron with the RBI single. Their second hit of the day.
Well, you mentioned it, Len. Samardzija has not thrown first pitch strike to any of the hitters he's faced yet. And when you put a young pitcher who doesn't have great command of his secondary pitches into those kind of situations, good big league hitters are going to gear it up and get ready for that fastball. Cameron rips that ball through the left side of the infield for an RBI.
Durham looked at the get me over slider. Off the plate on a fastball, 1-1. So they've tied it 2-2. Helped by an error earlier in the inning by Mark DeRosa. One-two pitch. He's evened it up. So Rich Harden cannot get the win as the Brewers have evened it up. It wasn't Harden's best outing, but if the bullpen could have held it, he would have gotten the victory. It would have been his 6th in a row. Three and two with 2 outs. Runners on the move. Ground ball, base hit. Lamb coming around, and he will score. And Milwaukee with its second advantage of the day. Ray Durham with the RBI single.
A hard ground ball through that right side. DeRosa with a diving effort didn't come close to it, and that ball gets out into the outfield grass and dies in front of Kosuke Fukudome. No chance to make a play at the plate. Cameron goes first to third.
Not getting easier. Ryan Braun at the plate, even though he's really struggled lately. He is always very dangerous. This will be the last batter for Samardzija because Kotz is more than ready and fielders on deck. Way outside.
It's Durham's 8th RBI against the Cubs this year. Some earlier this season as a member of the San Francisco Giants. He can still hit, especially from that left side of the plate.
Right toward the tail end of his Giants career, he became a middle of the order hitter. He began his career with the White Sox as a premier leadoff guy. '30th pitch of the inning for Jeff Samardzija. 2-1. Randy Wells has now joined Neil Kotz. A floater into right and a base hit. Cameron scores. Durham trying to get to third. Throw is offline, and Braun's going to take second base. 3 consecutive RBI singles for Milwaukee, and they now lead 4-2.
We'll see where this pitch is on pitch tracker. Looked like it was out over the plate. Braun did not hit it hard at all. Kind of floated it out there in front of Kosuke Fukudome, who tries to get the lead runner at third base, and when his throw gets away from Aramis Ramirez at third, that allows Braun to advance to second base.
Well, you can either go lefty versus Fielder or walk him, and they're going to walk him.
I think this is wise. I mean, you have Neil Kotz loose. Neil Kotz is loose and ready to go in the bullpen. He's had one previous appearance against Prince Fielder, and Prince Fielder took him deep. Got a base open, take the bat out of his hands.
I think Lou is going to make a change. We'll see. It's been a really tough inning for Samardzija. The error by DeRosa hurt. And everything's going to end up being unearned. And Lou's already headed up the stairs. As the bases are loaded for J.J. Hardy.
Well, because it's taking so long, you have to believe he wants Randy Wells. Kotz is loose and ready to go, but with the right-hander J.J. Hardy coming to the plate, it looked like Lou was just stalling for time to give Wells a few more pitches to warm up in the pen.
Heineken called to the pen. Milwaukee with 3 runs in the inning. They lead 4-2.
Back to school? It's all about class. Drive a new 09 Lexus RX 350 with all-wheel drive for only $459 a month.
Bob Rorman's Arlington, Lexus and Palatine, just 1 block west of Route 53 on Dundee Road. Back to school. We've done your homework.
Get 3.9 APR for 60 months on any certified pre-owned Lexus. 70 to choose from.
Bob Rorman's Arlington, Lexus and Palatine, just 1 block west of Route 53 on Dundee Road.
Are you ready for a good shopping experience? Hi, I'm Mike Abt with Abt Electronics and Appliances. Since 1936, our goal has been our customers' complete satisfaction. Whether you're replacing a TV or a refrigerator, building a dream kitchen or a home theater, our knowledgeable staff can assist you. Visit our website at abt.com to get 1-year financing plus free shipping. Abt, pleasing people since 1936.
This quote of the week is brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. For an insurance quote for auto, home, life, or business, please call Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich at 847-825-4783.
Due to the recent storms, Luna has arranged for special emergency financing. For a limited time, make no payments with no interest for 1 year. Plus, get your second room free.
773-202 Luna.
Tomorrow, Central rivals collide here at Wrigley Field. The Cubs will host Albert Pujols and the Cardinals in the friendly confines. Coverage begins with Lexus Cubs pregame live. Don't miss the Cubs hosting the Cardinals tomorrow at 12:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Adam Wainwright and Carlos Zambrano, the encore edition. See what he can do in the start after his no-hitter. Randy Wells was very impressive in his Cubs debut last night. He comes in with the bases loaded, 3 in, 2 outs. He faces J.J. Hardy.
Showed a good fastball, a tight slider, and a really good straight changeup.
Two and 0. There's no question Lou and Larry and Jim Hendry, they're going to be open to somebody grabbing the 6th and the 7th innings here down the stretch, especially with Chad Godin not available due to injury right now. You've got Marmol in the 8th, Kerry Wood in the 9th. They've been looking for somebody to really step up earlier, and there's ball 4, and he just forced in a run. Hardy will get an RBI. Fly ball to right. And Kosuke will retire Corey Hart, who made 2 outs in the inning. But in between, the Brewers scored 4 times, and they now have a 3-run lead.
It's Toyota's National Clearance Event, the perfect time for amazing deals and selection. Right now, lease the best-selling car in America, the 31-mile-per-gallon rated Camry LE, for just $199 a month. Or get $500 cash back. Or get a new 2008 Sienna with 0% financing for 60 months or $1,800 cash back. So don't miss this opportunity to save big at the Toyota National Clearance Event. Hurry into your Toyota dealer today.
Thursday on Chicago Tribune Live, the North Side is ready to clinch the division. We'll recap the game against the Brew Crew. Plus, we'll preview the Sox-Yankees battle in New York City as they continue their push to the playoffs. Catch all that and more Thursday at 5:30.
If you need to tow it, Quad City Spring has it. Quad City Spring is the area's suspension, spring, truck accessory, and towing experts. From goosenecks and fifth wheels to every kind of hitch imaginable, including Blue Ox base plates and tow bars, strong as an ox. And Quad City Spring installs and services everything they sell. So tow it right. Get your ride to Quad City Spring. Quad City Spring, 34th Street at River Drive in Moline.
When you need your vehicle repaired, look no further than River City Pipe Benders. Why? Other than auto body, River City Pipe Benders can repair anything and everything, from oil changes to transmission and engine overhauls. River City Pipe Benders is one of the only places that repairs everything. The same technician will always repair your vehicle and will know your vehicle. No one is on commission. River City Pipe Benders tells it like it is. Trust Clinton's own full-service repair facility. Trust River City Pipe Benders.
You're watching the home of the Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox. Comcast Sportsnet.
Some heavy work to do here. Still a lot of time. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Todd Coffey in for Milwaukee. Brewers lead by 3. All the runs were unearned in the top of the 6th because of the Mark DeRosa error. The 1-0 to Soriano, soft liner, and it just eludes Hardy. There's a start.
Got it off the end of the bat a little bit. Little humpback liner just over the outstretched glove of J.J. Hardy. He was shaded over in the hole. Soriano normally is a hook pull hitter when he hits a ball on the ground to the left side, so Hardy was over in the hole at short and couldn't get to that ball back up the middle. You may remember Todd Coffey from his days with the Cincinnati Reds, that odd style of checking the runner at first base by looking to his right back towards second base.
Counsel to Durham, and he won't make a throw. Derek Lee coming up. Jackie, Liz, Heidi, Beth, and the Brown family would like to wish a happy birthday to a big Cubs fan, Marcy Brown. Marcy's watching the Cubs at work today from a downtown office here in Chicago. Happy birthday, Marcy. This one hit a lot harder. And they will turn to 5-4-3. That's it. 5-pitch 6th for Coffey, 5-2 Brewers.
The Buick, Pontiac, and GMC employee discount on every 2008. And now, many 2009s. You pay what we pay, but only until September 30th.
Now get a G6 starting at just $16,720, or a Yukon starting at just $27,330. Hurry, these are the final days of the GM Employee Discount for Everyone event. See your dealer by September 30th.
When this shoe store added Aflac to its employee benefits package at no direct cost to the company, it was a perfect fit. Find out more at forbusiness.com.
Bank of America offers the opportunity to see Wrigley Field like you never have before. Take a 90-minute guided tour and check out the press box, locker room, dugouts, and much more. Tours are available on select dates and can be purchased by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS or by visiting Cubs.com.
Nissan set out to create the perfect on-road vehicle, and in the process, created a category. Introducing two crossover leaders from Nissan. The redesigned Murano, awarded as an IIHS top safety pick, and the versatile Rogue, named 2008's best new small crossover. Lease the 27 MPG Nissan Rogue, just $229 a month. Don't follow the leader, own one. At your Nissan dealer now.
Comcast Sportsnet's action-packed weekend begins Friday at 12:30 with one of the biggest rivalries in baseball as the Cubs try to blow over the Cardinals in the Windy City. At 7, round 2 of the rivalry matchup continues as the Sox take on the Royals in KC. Saturday at 2, it's college football as Indiana State touches down in Northern Illinois. Sunday at 12:30, the Sox try to spoil the Royals as they wrap up their series. It's an action-packed weekend only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Today, catch Bears Blitz here on Comcast Sportsnet. Lou Canellas and Dan Jiggets bring you all the latest news from Hallis Hall, including press conferences and player interviews. Don't miss Bears Blitz today at 4:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Craig Counsell leading off the 7th. Takes a strike from Randy Wells. It's DeRosa. One out.
And then like to say hello to a couple of great Cub fans, Darlene Felton and Orion Pohl here from Streamwood, Illinois today. Good friends of Rhinos watching the ball game today. Also a big hello to a couple of friends out from Arizona to catch the weekend series against the Cardinals. Greg and Kathy Hunt from Cave Creek just got into town a little while ago. Look forward to seeing you after the ball game.
Strike on Jason Kendall. Only 7 hits combined. Brewers have 4. 3 straight singles in the 6th included. Cubs have 2 solo homers among their 3 hits. Blackhawks stars Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves will handle the stretch, a duet. One-two to Kendall inside. Brad Nelson on deck. Hot coffee very effective today. Got that double play ball. Eric Gagne is up. Backhanded by DeRosa. Two outs, nobody on. Fly ball out toward Edmonds. Time to sing the stretch with the Blackhawks.
Our guest conductors for Take Me Out to the Ball Game from the Chicago Blackhawks, welcome Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews.
Hey, Cubs fans. Can't wait to see you on New Year's Day, so let's hear ya. Let me hear ya. 1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so let's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Good luck in the playoffs.
Here come the Hawks, the mighty Blackhawks. Take the attack, yeah, and we got you Blackhawks. You're flying high now, so let's wrap it up. Let's go, you Hawks, move on.